From that first taste of Korean food,
Our first Korean street food experience,
I knew I'd be coming back for more. Over the years, I've traveled coast to coast in South Korea, tasting everything I found appetizing and even some things that I didn't. From spicy street food to succulent seafood, we search far and wide for the best Korean eats. But the thing about Korea is it doesn't matter how many times you visit or how much you taste. You'll always discover something new and delicious. And I hope this documentary will help you discover a reason to visit South Korea. We kick off our journey in the back alleys of Jeonju, a UNESCO city of gastronomy, where we're on the hunt to taste the best bulgogi in town.
So we've sat down at this restaurant. It's called I don't even remember what it's called, to be honest, but I'll put the information for it down in the description box. And I already knew as soon as stepping in here that we found a local gem. It is completely packed in here on Friday night. We got the only table available, and there's absolutely no tourists in here whatsoever. And they are grilling up bulgogi like madmen in here. So they've got pork bulgogi marinating in a red, probably gochujang sauce, and then moving it from low grill to high grill at the end with like the fire charring it. And they pretty much specialize in just two things, the bulgogi and then the kimbap. So this is kimbap right here. This is it looks like a little sushi roll, but it's not called sushi, it's called kimbap. There's no fish in it, it's just egg, carrot, and I believe radish, and then wrapped up with some rice, and then with some seaweed on the outside. And then this is the bulgogi, pork bulgogi, and that just looks so good. So thin cuts of pork, looks like maybe pork belly. I can see some fatty bits on there, and it is to be wrapped up and enjoyed in a lettuce wrap, as with anything barbecued here in Korea. So when you see the lettuce on the side, it's for wrapping it up. So let me just make my own wrap here. So grab a nice piece of bulgogi, sliver of garlic, a little bit of gochujang, and let's just try it like that. Maybe you come to Jeonju for the Bibimbap, but probably you should come to Jeonju for the bulgogi. That is amazing. It's so smoky. It's just melts in your mouth too. And then with the garlic and the gochujang, the wrap, it just goes so well. Let me just try the piece by itself. Oh, that is perfectly grilled. You can just feel the smoke. And it's bulgogi, so it's a little bit sweet. It's definitely a little bit sweet, but this red sauce that they've got on it is a bit spicy at the same time. Let's try it by itself. Oh man. Oh my god, that is amazing. That fat just melts in your mouth. And it's definitely got a kick. Woo-wee. That is awesome bulgogi. Alright, let's chase that with one of these kimbaps here. Just a nice little side dish to have some rice. It's got texture, a nice crunch on the inside, but then the rice on the outside. Oh my god, this bulgogi is just to die for though. Honestly, it's amazing in the wrap, but you can just eat it by itself too. And it's a party in here. People are drinking and eating bulgogi like crazy. This is the true Jeonju Korean food experience that I was looking for. I'm gonna kind of mix and match here. Grab a kimbap, grab a piece of bulgogi, and then maybe even just dip it a little bit in this kimchi sauce here. Oh my god. I can say without a doubt this is the best thing I've eaten in Korea on this trip. Hands down, incredible. You know, a lot of times when you have a barbecue in Korea, you're doing it yourself at your table. And however good you might convince yourself that you are, I guarantee you these guys are better at grilling meat than you are. So just let the masters do their work. It tastes better that way. This combo of the kimbap with the bulgogi is so good. This is already our second plate. This is such a stellar restaurant. Oh my god. I have to say too, this is true for anywhere, not just Korea. Wherever you are in the world, when you leave the big city, like you leave Seoul or you leave Tokyo or you leave Paris, the people are always friendlier in the smaller towns. And we've found here in Jeonju, people are very friendly. I was almost a little bit disappointed with Jeonju food until I came here.
먼저 들어요?
There is a restaurant directly inside this market that is selling Kalguksu, which is hand-cut noodles. They're cutting the noodles fresh out front, and it's a pretty simple dish, but this place is absolutely packed. And just check out this massive bowl. This is a huge bowl of Kalguksu, and it's very simple, just the hand-cut noodles, a little bit of seaweed on top, a little bit of green onions, and then those sesame seeds. And this was only 3,500 won, so pretty cheap for how huge this bowl is. So let me just go right in and try some of these noodles by themselves. Oh man, those are extremely hot. I just burnt my mouth a little bit, but I couldn't wait. They just look too good. Really, it's all about the texture of those noodles. They are so ridiculously bouncy and firm, and they're really long too, kind of hard to slurp up. But just check this bowl out. It's got a light kind of fragrance of seafood because of that seaweed, and also a little bit of that sesame flavor too. Let me get some more of these. Try not to burn myself this time. Oh, the texture, wow. So we have two different types of condiments here. They're both chili based. This one's like a chili paste. And I'm gonna put a little bit of this in my kalguksu here. That right in the middle. And then we've got also a chili powder. Let me open this up, and this will give it that extra heat that Korea is famous for. Put a little bit more. And that should be good. Let's mix that up now. And oh man, I can already smell that chili fragrance. And you can see it's turning that broth nice and red. And let's give that a try now. It's got a little bit of the smokiness. Definitely a little bit spicy too. That place is awesome. That bowl of noodles was so hearty. It was really simple, but you could add a lot of toppings, and they also give you refillable kimchi. But really, I think why this place has such a huge lineup and is so packed is because of the price. It is seriously cheap, especially for Seoul standards. Nice, hearty, warm bowl of hand-cut kalguksu. So we're gonna keep going. There is still a lot of different foods to try here at the Mung market. Okay, my turn to try, and I'm gonna try this one, which is the mystery to us. We can't read the Korean sign, so I'm not really exactly sure. Let's try it out. Oh, it's cheese. Yeah, that is some seriously saucy fried chicken. It is really coated in that cheese flavor. And I had a little bit of the spicy version sauce on it, which, like Sabrina said, isn't very spicy. It's actually a little bit sweet. But the chicken is really moist on the inside. Let me try this one next. Yeah, that's like a sweet and spicy. Wow, that's good. That fried chicken place definitely deserves all the hype. It is really delicious and a perfect little snack on the go, and quite cheap too. They have all different kinds of flavors, and I think actually a piece of a different flavor was in ours. It tasted kind of like honey mustard. So I'm interested to know if you guys know what all the different flavors are. Let me know down in the comment box. This market is really cheap, and there is a lot of tasty foods. We're getting quite full, but there is all kinds of other things. If you don't want to come to eat, you can also come to shop. They have everything you could ever imagine. Fresh seafood, pork, beef, chicken, every vegetable, every fruit. They've got dried fish, dried vegetables, spices, chilies. There's even shopping here. There's all kinds of different like ginsengs and things to make tea, and nuts and sesame seeds, everything you could ever imagine and everything you would ever need to cook your own food at home. So it is really just a very like local and fun market. We are at a little stall right on the side of the market that is serving all kinds of different things. They have pretty much all the classic Korean street foods, the odang, which is fish cakes, the tteokbokki, the spicy rice cakes, twigum, which is all the deep fried goodies, and then what we ordered here, which is kimbap, which is basically a rice roll that is encased in some seaweed, and then this one in particular, it looks like there is a piece of spam in there. I think that's a fried egg, some pickled radish, some carrots, and some sort of greens in there too. So I'm just gonna try this one out, and this is seriously one of the best things you can eat in Korea. It's just so simple and perfect for a quick little snack. Oh yeah, salty on the inside, and he's glazed it with a little bit of sesame oil. So it's kind of got like a nuttiness. Okay, I'm gonna try the stuffed green pepper now, deep fried, and this is super fresh. Sabrina talked it up, so it sounds like it's really good. Oh wow, that is really unique. It looks simple, but it really packs a flavor punch. It kind of reminds me almost of like a Mexican dish because it's got that sort of green chili, almost jalapeno flavor, and a little bit of heat, lots of onions in that pork, and then crispy from being deep fried. That is good, and the owner is super friendly for giving us that. We've got our kimchi mandu. This is like an oversized mandu. It's almost like a Chinese baozi, but you can actually just see that kind of orange kimchi seeping through the skin of that dumpling. So let me bite into this guy. Oh man, there's a lot of kimchi in there. That kimchi on the inside, it actually has quite a bit of a crunch to it, and it is really spicy, like quite spicy compared to just regular kimchi. I think they've put some extra chili powder in there, but I love like the sourness and the crunch from that kimchi mixed with the texture of that dumpling skin because it's nice and soft and then crisp on the outside. Check that out. That is a thing of beauty. Oh man. So if you guys have been following us for a while, you may have guessed that one of our favorite things to do while traveling is just exploring these markets. And the Mangwon market is really unique. There is everything here, but there's also lots of ready-to-eat items. We are staying very close to here, so I'm really grateful because this market has been a lot of fun to explore so far.
진짜를 전시하는 거. 구경하시고.
Thank you. Our last street food today is honestly probably my favorite dessert in all of Korea, and one of the most dangerous street foods you can eat here in Korea, and that is the hoetteok. I say dangerous because it is filled with piping hot liquid sugar, like molten lava hot sugar, and there should be some nuts and stuff inside. So this is just fried batter that has been flattened down and stuffed, like I said, with sugar and nuts. So let me break into this. I'm gonna be very careful and try not to burn myself. Oh, okay. I'm okay. It is a little bit oily on the outside, but the inside is just so sweet and gooey. It's like brown sugar that has been caramelized, and then there's a little bit of, I think those are maybe pumpkin seeds on the inside, and definitely some sesame seeds as well. Let me just take one more bite. Can you see that? Yeah, there you go. Can you see that? Oh man, that is hot. Don't want to burn my finger. Let me try one more bite. Oh man, it's so good. That brown sugar, cinnamon flavor. It reminds me of Christmas. Okay, literally next bite, I just burnt myself. Look at this. I got it all over my hand. It exploded at the side. All on my jacket. Oh man.
Lava.
That hurts. Yeah. Wow. Ouch. I don't think I've ever successfully eaten a hoetteok without burning myself. That stuff in the middle is just so good, but so hot, so be careful. So our first street food here at the Namdaemun market in Seoul is for hoetteok. This is a very famous Korean street food, and you can get it in either a sweet version or a savory version from this stall. So this stall is super popular. I mean, there is a massive line. It does move pretty fast. I don't think this stall was here the very first time I came to Namdaemun Market. It's right at the gate number 2 entrance, and it is so popular. So basically hoetteok is a Korean pancake. So it can be stuffed, like I said, with savory or with sweet. So we ordered one savory and one sweet. The savory version is with the japchae, so the Korean glass noodles, and then also with some veggies in there. I saw some carrots and maybe some bean sprouts. Basically they just wrap it in a little bit of dough and then dunk it in the oil. It is just swimming in oil, and they squeeze it, they press it down into a flat pancake. And then the sweet version, you can either get red bean or you can get seeds. So I think it's like I think it's like pumpkin seed. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's like a sugar caramel with seeds on the inside. So we got one of both, and they are gonna be super hot. But what makes, I think, this place so popular is the sauce that they're using for the savory hoetteok. So he literally paints on the sauce. It's a soy sauce that has some apples, there's green chilies, dates, all kinds of different things floating in there, sort of marinating in that sauce, and then he paints a little bit onto the savory hoetteok at the end. So this one, you can see the sweetness starting to sort of seep through. And let me tell you, if you don't want 3rd-degree burns, give that like 5 minutes. And then this is the savory version. He only puts a tiny little bit of that sauce on there, but I think, like I said, I think that's why they're famous. So let me try this. I hope I don't burn myself. Savory one first. That was awesome. Definitely a little bit greasy, but it's so fluffy. It's almost like a donut. It's like a fried donut on the outside. And then you've got those Korean glass noodles on the inside, the japchae. A little bit of green onion in there, maybe some leek as well. Look at, it's sort of peeking out there. Not as hot as I was expecting. Go for one more bite. That is lovely. You can taste that sort of fruity soy sauce that he painted on. That is awesome. Okay, let me try this, but I'm still gonna wait a couple of minutes for it to cool down. You can see that molten sugar sort of seeping through the hoetteok, but I think it's cooled down enough. Let's try it. Really good. Really, really good. It might be actually sunflower seeds or maybe pumpkin seeds and sunflower seeds, or a mixture of different seeds. It's really fluffy, and there's actually not a lot of filling on the sweet one as I was expecting, because you can see it's mostly just like the fried hoetteok with a little bit of sugar on the top. Unlike this one, look at how much filling is inside of there. It's just packed full of filling. Both very good. But yeah, I gotta give it up for this one. I think they put a little bit of cinnamon in there too. Yeah, definitely. It was really good too, but the savory version's definitely the reason why everybody's lining up there. What do you think? Which one's your favorite?
I think I like the vegetable one. And so they say when there's a long line, there's good sign, right? And at first I judged it because it's really, really huge. But I kept eating it like I didn't know I'm gonna almost finish it. It's so good.
Really good hoetteok. Probably not the best sweet version I've ever had, but definitely the best savory version I've ever had. We're gonna keep going through the Namdaemun market. There's just so much food to try here. Check out this thing right here. I think it's a dried skate or stingray. I don't think I've ever seen one of those before. Wow. So we just spotted a little street food stall that's selling a couple classic Korean street foods, and my eyes immediately landed on the famous Korean tteokbokki, the rice cakes that are swimming in this beautiful red sauce, piping hot, perfect for this cold winter weather here in Seoul. Let's give it a try. Always one of my favorites. That's a really good one, actually. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. It's a rice cake, so it's got the texture of mochi. It's really, really chewy, and that sauce just has so much flavor. It's a little bit sweet, definitely a little bit spicy too. Not as spicy as it looks though. It looks like it's gonna be fiery hot, but I mean, it's just a moderate spice. Oh, I love the texture. So chewy. That sauce is awesome too. I'm not sure it's just gochujang. I think it's like a mixture of different sauces. It's like a particularly tteokbokki style sauce. Yum. Ming's first time trying real tteokbokki in Korea. You can definitely get it in Thailand, but not the same.
Not the original. Is it hot?
It's hot, but it's not too bad.
The color looks like it's gonna be spicy, but it's not spicy at all. And one thing I want to say that is not related to food is this kind of bowl is perfect for this kind of weather for me, because now in South Korea probably like 3 degrees, 4 degrees, and it's really cold, and once you get this in your hand, it's like your personal heater and you can walk around.
Yeah, that's I guess a added benefit of the tteokbokki is that it's also hand warmer. It's good. Really good. So this dumpling spot is a place that I've visited before years ago. It's always packed out every time I come to the Namdaemun market. It's one of the most popular places, and they have all kinds of different types of steamed dumplings, and I believe they have boiled dumplings as well. They also have like donuts that they're frying up, and I just went for a classic kimchi dumpling. Anything with kimchi here in Korea is gonna be good. You can see that orange kimchi just sort of seeping through the wrapper of the dumpling. And it looks like, yeah, we got some veggies in there, some onions. I'm not sure if that's pork or chicken, but let's give it a try. It's really juicy, actually. Oh my gosh. The kimchi has retained its crunch. And a little bit sour too. Just a hint of spice. Some onions in there, green onions. Oh my gosh. Anything with kimchi. You can't go wrong in Korea. It's definitely a bit chilly here in Seoul in March, so I just bought myself a hat. Oh, I can't get it on with one hand. Oh no. Oh, there we go. What do you think? Represent Korea. So we are at the Jeonju fish market here in Busan, and this is the largest fish market here in South Korea. We are actually just outside, and it's kind of spilling into the streets, and just check out all this fresh seafood behind me. So as we were exploring here, it actually just started to snow here in Busan. It's not too cold, but it's kind of beautiful, and this is just awesome. So much fresh seafood here. So we have been walking for about 15 minutes and we still haven't gone inside the actual market. We've just been outdoors, and there's so many seafood and fish products here. It's just ridiculous. I can't believe it. And we're right on the shore here. They're bringing in their fresh catches from the day. So you know this spot is good. We're gonna go find something we can eat. Okay, so we are sitting down for our first snack today at the Jeonju fish market, and actually it's bigger than a snack. It's just kind of like a small meal, and we're sitting down for extremely popular food here at the market, and although this isn't seafood, it is still very, very popular, and this is called Jeonju, which is hangover soup. So we're not hungover today, but apparently it's good any time of day, but it's just a very hearty soup, so it's very popular to eat when you're hungover. And then over here we have a pig skin that is spicy braised, and it's served to us in a sizzling plate, and this just smells awesome. We've got all our side dishes, and let's dig into this. Okay, so let's start with this Jeonju, the hangover soup, and let's mix it up. This is a miso based broth, and it's a beef bone or ox bone, so you can see there's some pieces of beef in there, and then there's a serving of some gochujang on top, the chili sauce, and there's a ton of onions in here, a ton of bean sprouts, and also, oh geez, I thought those were noodles underneath, but that's just a ton of bean sprouts, and then also some big massive pieces of coagulated ox blood. Check that out, there is some huge pieces there, and there is just a lot going on in this bowl. So give it a good mixing and try to get that red pepper sauce all mixed in, and let's just sample that broth first. Let's try it out here. Oh yeah. Ooh, whoa, oh wow, that's really nice. That's a like very rich ox flavor, and that's very strong, beefy, very, very meaty. It's a little bit salty too and spicy from that red pepper sauce. Oh, that's really nice. I can also taste quite a bit of garlic in there. So I can definitely see how this is a hangover cure. There is so much hearty vegetables. The whole stew itself is awesome. There's a ton of these bean sprouts, a lot of Napa cabbage, just so much going on in here, and I love how much black pepper she puts in it too. So let's grab another big chunk of these vegetables, put it over on my rice, and oh man, this is perfect comfort food here in Korea. And we are loving our time here at the Jeonju fish market. Next up is this spicy pig's skin, which I have to admit actually looks very good. It feels very soft in my chopsticks and simple, just braised with some spicy sauce, and then there's some green onions on top here. And she's given it to us with lettuce to wrap, but I'm just going to try a piece by itself first. So let's try that spicy pig skin. Oh wow. Whoa, that is much more tender than I thought. It's a very kind of glutinous and very spicy. Can definitely taste some sesame oil in there as well. So let's grab a big piece of that pig skin, put that in there, and maybe I'll grab some of this bean paste over here. I think this is a fermented bean paste, so put a little bit of that on top of the pig skin, and that should be good. And then also there's a ton of raw chilies and onions and garlic. I'm probably gonna go in for one of those onions, put it in my wrap, and that is a nice little pocket of flavor. So we'll wrap that up. Okay, that's really good too. Actually, that bean paste is quite salty, so maybe I won't use a lot of that, but ridiculously smooth pig skin. I can't get over it. I just pictured it as being really tough and hard to chew, but it is not like that whatsoever. It's very like collagen rich and glutinous. And just check out this. She's got a massive plate of it boiling away here. Okay, I'm gonna go in for a piece of the coagulated blood here. I just checked that out. That is a massive piece, and it's already actually broken in half, so it's bigger than that. So I'll break off a little piece of that, try to get some of the bean sprouts, and we're gonna put that over here onto our rice and try that. A little bit of broth. Oh yeah. And actually, that is so meaty flavored. Let's try that. Oh, that's nice. Actually, the blood doesn't actually have much of a taste. It just tastes like the broth. And that's actually quite a bit spicy. Those bean sprouts are nice and crisp still. Looks like some leeks in there as well. Let's go for another bite. Oh, that's good. Okay, that haejang goop was so delicious, just full of flavor, but extremely hearty. We are stuffed after that, and although we are at a fish market, I don't know if we're gonna be able to eat anything else today, but even though that wasn't seafood, that was still great, and I definitely recommend if you're here at the Jeonju Fish Market, try it out. There is just stalls lining the whole outside of the market, and it is just crazy in here. We're loving the atmosphere, and the food is just as good. So we're gonna keep going. We're gonna go to the Gwangjang Cultural Village, so let's go there now. So inside of the Namdaemun market, you have the Kalguksu alley, which is the knife cut noodle alley. It is absolutely packed here just at lunchtime now, and full of locals, but also lots of tourists as well. And they all specialize in Kalguksu, which is the knife cut noodles. They have other dishes, and we just picked this lovely woman's stall here to sit down at, and she's brought out our Kalguksu, made it right in front of us, counter side seating, and you can see this is the final result. Beautiful bowl of noodles. Look at them. All those uneven, non-uniform noodles, and then topped with a little bit of seaweed and some chili sauce, and this is like a fried fish cake, I believe, or maybe that's tofu actually. And she asked if I wanted spicy. Of course I said yes, so I gave it a mix. And then you've got the typical Korean banchan here too, the kimchi, and then some pickled greens. And also back here she's given me another bowl of noodles, which is crazy because this is just service. This is the Korean naengmyeon, the cold noodles, buckwheat noodles, tossed in a spicy sauce, and then some cucumbers in there with a half a boiled egg on top, some carrots, whatnot. But I really just got to try out these Kalguksu hand cut noodles. That's what the alley's named after. That's what you got to try here. The hand cut part of it is what makes the noodles taste so good. It's got such a bouncy texture, but the unevenness of each noodle makes it just a beautiful texture. The broth is like a fish kind of stock. She wants us to hurry up so she can get new customers. She's only got 3 seats and we're filming, so I better hurry up. It's definitely not easy eating these noodles with Korean chopsticks. Korean chopsticks are flat and metal, so they're really slippery, but these noodles are great. She keeps getting angry at us for filming because, not because of the camera, but just because it's a really busy market. So she could be getting customers over and over and over again, but we're sitting here talking to the camera. So let me do this quick. Also, her kimchi is really, really good. Nice and sour. Just how I like it. Okay, let's try the naengmyeon, the cold Korean noodles. Yeah, these ones are extra hard. She's telling me to hurry up. It's delicious though. Maybe just not the friendliest. Look at her. This place is insane. She was just trying to make us hurry up because, like I said, she's only got a couple seats and there's just customers coming at all moments. Really good, but not the best naengmyeon, but the kalguksu was amazing. Okay, let's get out of here. How was that for an experience? Pretty crazy in there, right?
It's like hectic, and okay, I understand that. Okay, it's understandable because she needs as much as customer as possible because her shop is small, right? But then it's kind of, I feel like I was forced to eat. And I was eating like crazy. And then at the end I was telling her like I can't eat anymore, like I'm so full because I feel pressure. So I didn't chew, chew like one. I swallowed the food. And then I have to film look, and then she was saying like she's saying in Korean, she's like pamoko, like keep eating, and then sometimes we have to do that.
Yeah, we were secretly trying to film in between her doing her kitchen duties. Every time she turned her back, I'd be like, Ming, film me. And then she'd turn around, she'd see us, and she'd be like, eat, what are you doing? Eat.
Yeah.
I do feel a little bit bad, but we were fast, and well, we were paying customers, so
Yeah.
it's crazy in there. When we walk through there, they're literally punching people like on the arm, telling them, come, and then pushing people out of the way. Yeah, it's insane in there. Whew.
It's really insane, but if you come to Korea, you have to, what is this street called?
Kalguksu alley.
Yeah, you have
Tried
to
it.
experience this. It's really good.
It's so confusing because in there people were not the friendliest. I wouldn't say they were rude, but they were definitely pushing us out of the way and not happy with us filming. And then as soon as we go outside the door though, another woman comes up and goes, oh, you're so handsome, you're so beautiful. And she's like, do you want to eat? Do you want to eat? Super friendly. So
I understand.
yeah, you get both best of both worlds. We are absolutely stuffed after those Kalguksu noodles. This Namdaemun market is definitely one of my favorite places to come in Seoul for eating because it's still very authentic. Unlike some of the other markets, I won't say names here in Seoul, they get really touristy. Not the Namdaemun market, it's a real local spot. So we're gonna go jump in a taxi and head to the famous Gyeongbokgung Palace to burn off some calories before we keep eating. To Gyeongbokgung. This is the Gyeongbokgung Palace. To be honest, I'm not very familiar with Korean history, so I'm not even going to try to get into it. But basically, there's a ton of palaces here in Seoul, but Gyeongbokgung is probably the most famous one. It is beautiful. You can see the mountains in the background. I think that's what makes Seoul so unique and such an interesting city is all these mountains that surround it. It's kind of built in the mountains, unlike other big metropolises like Tokyo, for example, which are usually really flat. There's a ton of mountains here in Seoul, which really adds to the beauty. And this palace is incredible. I love Korean architecture. It's so colorful and vibrant with all the different paintings along the archways and whatnot. And you can pay 3,000 won, so about less than $3 to come in, or if you're wearing a Hanbok, the traditional Korean dress, you can actually enter for free. And if you're new to traveling in Asia or in Korea and you come here and you're like, wow, Korean people still wear the traditional dress when you come here to Gyeongbokgung Palace, don't be fooled. I can almost guarantee you they're Chinese or some other tourist that's probably not a Korean person. But to dress up in the Hanbok and then take the pictures, really, really cool. So we are at our first spot today and I could not resist passing this in the market. This just looks too good and smells even better. So this is a patty. This is a pork patty made with parts of the pork leg and feet, and it just looks amazing. We've ordered up two different kinds. We've ordered up the spicy and the bulgogi kind, and I'm going to use this here. This is an Onori gift certificate. So you can buy these at major banks here in Korea, and this is 10,000 won, but to buy this, it's only 9,500. So you get a 5% discount, and it's accepted at most of the traditional markets here in Korea. So we're just gonna order our two up and try them out. They look awesome. Okay, we've ordered up our 2 dokgalbi and this looks amazing. So we were just asking her what's inside, and actually inside here apparently there's some apple, which is a very interesting ingredient. There's also some garlic, some green onions, but other than that it's just pure meat, and it's a nice little patty. And we've got 2 different kinds. This is the bulgogi kind. So as you can see, it's kind of smothered in bulgogi sauce and then all over top of the rest of the patty there. So I've got a nice piece, and let's try this. Oh man. Oh man. Okay, I gotta have another bite. Oh, that's delicious. That is phenomenal. Super ridiculously tender minced pork in there. I can actually taste like a little bit of fruitiness from that apple. And oh my gosh, that bulgogi sauce on top is sweet, a little bit salty. That is ridiculously juicy and tender. Okay, let's move on to the spicy kind here. So this one, same thing, but just covered in a spicy sauce. Oh my god, this is so good. That is ridiculously juicy. Try another bite. That is spicy. The amount of juice that comes out of that when you bite into it is ridiculous. Falls apart in your mouth. That is incredible. Wow. Okay, this is ridiculously good, super juicy, and it's actually very similar to meatloaf. I'm actually gonna double up and make sure I get a ton of that bulgogi sauce. This is so good. Okay, that was incredible. I definitely recommend the bulgogi. Was definitely my favorite, but that is an awesome start to our day today, so let's keep going. We are trying another food here, and this is an extremely unique product here at the Gwangjang Central Market, and this is called acorn jelly. So just check this out. It is an extremely kind of bouncy looking jelly, brown in color. So they make it by grounding up a acorn, and that turns into this. So it's sort of like a flour, and then they mix it with water and boil it down until you get this extremely unique consistency jelly. So I'm gonna try it by itself first, but it's also served with soy sauce. So first let's just try it alone. And the smell is really nice, kind of like earthy. Oh, that's really unique. It has almost like a nutty flavor. It's served cold, and it's very smooth the whole way through. It's almost like a little bit bitter at the end. I'm gonna try it with the soy sauce now. So let's take a piece here and dip it over in the soy sauce. We've got a little bag of soy sauce. That's very nice with the soy sauce. It almost does have like a peanut butter kind of nuttiness to it. And apparently you can eat this hot or cold. I find it's really nice cold, and they also put it into a salad. It's really just got a unique kind of jelly texture to it. All right, we just ordered up some delicious looking fried chicken, and just check this out. There is peanuts on top of here and almonds. We ordered the medium spicy kind, and this place is extremely popular. They're selling it by the huge box. So we just ordered up a small cup, and let's go try this out. Okay, we have our spicy fried chicken here, and this looks incredible. It's an extremely popular stall here, the Gwangjang Central Market, and it's really interesting that it's topped with peanuts and almonds. So let's try it out. Oh yeah. Okay, that is mouth-watering. The sauce on the outside has actually almost like caramelized into a crust. So despite the fact that it's already crispy from being deep fried, It's extra crispy from that glaze of sauce on the outside, and then crunchy even more from those nuts on top. The nuts give it really like a nice extra dimension, and then that's a little bit spicy. I can definitely taste some black pepper in there, and the chicken's still nice and juicy on the inside. Let's go in for another bite. Oh man, this is awesome. Check that out. So actually the Gwangjang Central Market is a 3-level market. We were just spending most of our time on the middle level where a lot of the fresh produce and ready to eat food is, but now we've come downstairs to the fish market and there's so much fresh seafood down here, a ton of crazy sea creatures, and it's just extremely vibrant. And on the top floor there is a lot of restaurants, but we're gonna head back upstairs and continue to do a little bit of snacking today. Alright, we've come back upstairs after exploring the fish market downstairs, and now we are going to try something that looks incredible. Check this out right here. He's cooking up a beef broth, a beef bone broth, and this looks like an amazing spot. We're gonna go inside and have some good soup. Okay, so we are sitting down in the restaurant now, and I'd have to say, guys, the Gwangjang Central Market of the last 3 markets that we visited here in Gangwon-do, this has got to be my favorite. This is such a bustling market full of delicious food, and we are sitting down for a market specialty here. This is the beef bone broth soup, and it just looks incredible. Check this out here. There is a ton of green onions. It is in a milky broth, and he was just boiling away a ton of bones. And then we've got some beef meat in here as well. It looks like some cartilage, all kinds of different things, and oh, this smells incredible. So served, of course, with our side dishes, we've got some kimchi, and then over here we've got some daikon radish, spicy daikon radish, and then we've got a bowl of rice. So this looks absolutely incredible, and it smells awesome. I'm ready to dig into this. So outside, he just has these massive cauldrons full of the bones of the beef and then boiling away, and it just smells incredible. It's impossible to pass by without noticing. So we've got our bowl here, and I'm ready to try it out. I'm just gonna try the broth first, which I mentioned, it does have like a milky consistency to it, and it smells very meaty, beefy. So let's try this. Oh wow. Wow, it's very, very light in flavor. Not much to it. It's not salty whatsoever. I don't think there's any salt added to it. I can definitely taste those green onions in there, and it definitely has a strong beef flavor to it. Okay, let's try to get some of the meat down at the bottom. And there's just tons of different parts of beef in here. I see a lot of like cartilage, a lot of nice pieces of meat. I'm just gonna go in for this here. A ton of green onions as well. Oh, that meat is tender, and those green onions are crisp. Oh, that is awesome. So that has soaked up the flavor of the broth. It's still very light, but it's very just nice, soothing flavor to it. I'm gonna put this on some rice now. And put it over on our rice. Try that with a little bit of rice. That should be good. Okay, that cartilage is much less tender. It's very chewy, but it does have like a nice bounciness to it. I do like that texture, and it's nice with the rice. The rice soaks up all that juice. And we've also ordered up a side of meat, just plain meat. I'm not exactly sure what cut it is. It looks like it might be from the neck. So I'm gonna grab it here. And actually, we've been given some chili and salt. So dip that in a little bit of chili salt. That is glistening with the oils. Let's try that. That has such an amazing natural beef flavor. And then with that chili salt, it's a little bit salty, a little bit spicy. This is an awesome soup, guys. So I just noticed that a lot of people here at the restaurant are adding some of the condiment that's on the table here. This is the gochujang red pepper sauce. And check that out, that's a nice looking red pepper sauce. I'm gonna take a big spoonful of that and add it to my soup here. There we go. And give that a nice stir. Oh yeah, that'll give it a nice heat and extra sweetness. Oh yeah. Okay, let's try this. Try the broth. Oh yeah. Oh, you need that. So we just ordered up 2 unique kinds of hoetteok, which is a Korean sweet pancake. So basically hoetteok is a dough that is stuffed with ground nuts and sugar. It's flattened onto a fryer and fried up in a ton of oil. But what makes this place so unique is that they serve a cheese hoetteok and an ice cream hoetteok. So we're gonna try these out. They look really good. And next up we have the ice cream hoetteok. So it's same as the cheese one, but just mixed with ice cream, no cheese. And it's a soft serve ice cream. And then he's drizzled quite a hefty serving of chocolate sauce on top of that. So let's make sure we get some ice cream, a piece of the hoetteok, and try it out. Oh yeah. That's really good. The hoetteok is still warm. Ice cream freezing cold, and it's really creamy from all that ice cream and chocolate sauce. It's quite sweet as well from the sugar inside the hoetteok and the chocolate sauce. But that's an awesome summer snack, even though it's the dead of winter here in South Korea. Today. So we've come this morning to the Gwangjang meat market. This is the largest meat market in Korea, and I heard this is the best place to get affordable Hanwoo beef. So Hanwoo beef is the Korean equivalent of Japanese Wagyu beef. So think super marbly, fatty, melt in your mouth, tender beef. So the Gwangjang meat market is a working market since the 1960s. It's not just Hanwoo beef here, there's lots of beef, and it's not just the premium cuts. You can also get the innards, the cheaper cuts. There's also pork here, of course. And the way that this works is, if you're a tourist like me, you're looking for these places that have set plates, and you can buy the plate of raw meat, and then just above the restaurant, or sorry, just above the shop is the restaurant where you can actually have a Korean barbecue and cook it up. So that's what we're gonna do. Okay, we've made our selection. That was 75,000, so more than half of our budget, but I think it's still a really good deal because this beef looks incredible. And now we're just heading upstairs to the barbecue. So we've come upstairs, we have a barbecue here. It's a charcoal barbecue, which is awesome. And she just did the first couple cuts of meat for us, and just look at how beautiful. This meat is so fatty, so marbly. There's different cuts. This is Hanwoo beef. So like I said before, like almost like the equivalent of Japanese Wagyu, Korean version of Japanese Wagyu. And we have all of our banchan, of course. And I'm gonna make myself up my first bite. Okay, I'm gonna make myself a little lettuce wrap here. Grab a piece of the Hanwoo beef, get some onions with a little bit of sauce on it, and then I believe this is the, I'm not sure this is not gochujang, this is the soybean, and then some of these spring onions with spicy dressing, and then that is the perfect little one-biter wrap folded up. That is definitely the way to eat it, with all of the ingredients packed in there with the Hanwoo beef. It's just a perfect one-biter, but I gotta try a piece just by itself. I'm gonna go for this piece over here, so I can get the real natural flavor. This one's still a little bit medium rare. I'll grab that with my chopsticks. Just a tiny bit of salt. So fatty. Look at how beautiful that is. Oh my gosh. This place is beef heaven. Instant liquefaction. As soon as it heats up in your mouth, just completely melts. Oh my god. Effortless chewing. Chase it with a piece of kimchi. Oh man. Super good quality. I love that it's cooking on charcoal too. It gives it such a smoky flavor. Let's make ourselves another little wrap here. I love this culture too here in Korea, just taking all these banchan, all these side dishes, and you can just kind of add whatever you like. Some bean sprouts, clove of garlic maybe, and a little bit of this soybean paste. Let's try that. That's a great way to eat it because you get some veggies and it's sort of a even mix between meat and vegetables, but I do find you can't feel the tenderness as well. And now here she goes with a big chunk. Look at this steak. Oh my gosh, the marbling on there is just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful marbling. So much fat on there. Gotta cook it on charcoal too. Yeah, I think I prefer just to have it with like a little bit of salt, maybe one of these onions with a tiny bit of the sauce. You can really feel the fat, the tender, the melt in the mouth factor. But also very good with the lettuce wrap. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. So 75,000 for the plate of beef, but then you also have to pay 6,000 per person for the barbecue fee, which includes, of course, all these banchan, which are totally refillable. But I think it's so worth it. You'd never find Kobe beef or something like that in Japan for this price, and not this quality. Like the marbling on there is just insane. She just cooked up that thicker piece, that thick kind of steak cut. But I think I like this thin cut, the very first cut that she used more, and I honestly just prefer it with a little bit of salt, just by like itself, without any of the other flavors, because the flavor of the fat melting in your mouth is enough. It's amazing. Every time, it's like, oh, heaven. I'm gonna do the last one by myself. Look at this beautiful cut of meat. Oh my gosh. You know how they say in Japan that they feed the Wagyu beer? I wonder in Korea if they're feeding their cattle soju and they're listening to BTS instead of Mozart. It is just glistening with oil every time you flip it. A little bit of smoke comes up because all that fat drips down onto the charcoal, which adds a lot of flavor to it. And this barbecue is better than those gas barbecues because you're using that charcoal. We completely turn the heat off and just let the excess heat from the charcoal just slowly cook this. All right, this is our last piece. But honestly, that was a ton of Hanwoo beef for 75,000. Seriously good deal. I don't think you could get one piece of Wagyu beef anywhere in Tokyo for the same price. So this is definitely the place to have super high quality beef in Seoul on a budget. We've still got half of our $100 left to go, about. That was amazing. So 12,000 won for the cooking fee and 75,000 won for the beef. So if my math is correct, that should leave us with 43,000 won left. So we spent more than half of our budget on the beef, but totally, totally worth it. We're gonna catch the metro now to the night market where I'm sure we'll be able to get a lot more food for our money.
Lots of steak.
Select the desired service. Please wait a few minutes.
So this is the Myeongdong night market right in the center of Seoul, the perfect place to spend the rest of our $100 budget. So let's go blow 43,000 won on some Korean street food. For our first snack at the Myeongdong night market, we're trying an iconic Korean street food called the egg bread. So basically just cracks an egg into some batter, bakes it, and it's sort of like sweet and savory. It was only 2,000 won, so pretty cheap. Let's try it out. This is it right here. I can see the egg kind of peeking out the middle there. Give it a try. It's like a pound cake. I had one of these years ago. I remember it being more sweet, but this one's actually on the savory side. It's like a sweet pancake, but then a little bit salty egg on the inside. You can see the egg yolk kind of peeking out the side there too. Oh, that's actually really good. Super fluffy. Oh, that's really good actually. I'd say it's like 60-40 egg to cake ratio. It's more egg than cake. Perfect little snack. Let's go find some more. After I saw that the egg bread was only 2,000 won, I was kind of thinking that we might have a difficult time spending our 43,000 won left of our $100 challenge, but I changed my mind after we went to the next stall because they're selling lobster tails, which are 20,000 won. So we've ordered up one lobster tail, she blow torches it, big flame, and it's covered in cheese, and this is the final result here. I mean, lobster tail is the premium cut, so there's nothing cheap about lobster tail, that's for sure, and there's a ton of cheese on there. Let me try to grab a piece. Oh yeah, look at that. Get some cheese too. That actually looks really good. Whoa. Let's try. Tastes like expensive lobster that's been covered in cheap cheese. It's sort of a shame. I probably would have rathered it just blowtorch without the cheese on top, but it's still not bad. It's kind of a tiny lobster tail too. Like, look at it. That was like probably 30%. I'm gonna only take one more bite because Mink needs to have some too. Let's try. No, it's good though. That's actually a decent chunk of lobster in there. But man, is that ever a lot of cheese on top. You can taste that smoky butane, lighter fluid that she put on top of it too. Not bad. Not great.
My turn to try the lobster.
All right. That is a ton of cheese.
Ooh, that's a big bite.
Big bite?
Whoa.
That was pretty much the rest of the lobster. Oh no, there's one more bite. Look at how much cheese is on that though. Oh my gosh. Too much cheese. Not enough lobster.
That is a lot of cheese.
Yeah, not bad. 21,000 won left. I think it's fried chicken time. What do you think?
Ooh, I want fried chicken.
Let's go. So fried chicken tossed in a sweet and spicy Korean sauce, and then there's also some tteokbokki here too. You can see. Yeah, let's get rid of one of those first so I can get down to the good stuff, the chicken. It's hot, fresh. I should say, tteokbokki is like a rice cake. It's like chewy, but because he's fried it, the outside is a little bit crisp. Definitely a bit spicy, but sweet at the same time. All right, let's try it. Some famous Korean fried chicken, famous around the world. Oh, that's hot. What's not to love about fried chicken? Oh my gosh, that sauce that they toss it in is amazing. It tastes like black pepper, like a little bit spicy, but not too much. Super crispy on the outside, but it's just a thin batter. The sauce is sort of caramelized around the outside. It's definitely a little bit sweet. It's good, but my heart is still with Taiwanese fried chicken. Sorry, Korea. Your fried chicken is probably the second best in the world. I love Taiwanese fried chicken. So this was 7,000 Korean won. That leaves us with 14,000 left to go. I'm sure we can get a couple more things. Next up, something very traditional, Korean odeng, fish cake. You can get it either spicy version, of course we opted for the spicy version, or you can get a plain in sort of a fish stock, and it's just served on the end of this stick. So it's sort of like a fish cake that's wrapped up on this stick, and yeah, he's got tons of them just boiling away in that red sauce, that Korean red sauce that everything seems to be in here. Let's try this out. I think it's gonna be hot. Yeah, the texture of the fish cake is so fluffy and soft. It's like a pillow. That's definitely spicy. Immediately can feel the heat building, and the taste is like gochujang, Korean bean chili sauce that's a little bit sweet, a little bit earthy, and a little bit spicy, of course, too. Yeah, wow. Actually, that's probably the spiciest thing I've tasted in Korea so far. The texture of the fish cake is just amazing now. I don't know how else to describe it, but just pillowy, just fluffy. Yum.
Before I try, I just want to say what I like about this store is you can get as much soup as you want, and you can come back and refill it.
Yeah.
So.
Whew, my mouth is burned. It's hot. Yeah. Oh, going for the straight soup.
Oh, this is what I'm craving for many days.
Finally, a Thai level spice.
Oh, this is really good.
Yeah. I think Korean food might be a little bit misleading because it's always covered in this red sauce and it looks spicy, but sometimes it's more on the sweet side. But this is spicy for sure.
Yeah, when it's spicy, it's really spicy. You have to be careful when you swallow because I almost pop over there.
The owner was just telling me that all of the odeng and fish cakes are handmade by his father every single day, and you can tell because the quality is really good. Like I was saying, the texture is super fluffy, and that was 2,000 won. I think that leaves us with 12,000 left to spend. For 5,000, we just bought our next snack. So I think that, what's that leave us with? That leaves us with 7,000 left. We're getting there. We're nearly done our $100 challenge. And this is the classic Korean japchae, glass noodles with some veggies in there. Typical Korean traditional street food snack. We've got an ambulance trying to come through the market. Holy smokes. Maybe somebody's ODing on Korean street food. I don't know. Let's try it, the japchae. It's so smothered in sauce. Soy sauce base for sure. It's definitely a little bit sweet. I love the texture of the noodles. They're so chewy. They're so bouncy and chewy. But it's really too greasy with all that sauce. And be careful with these because you gotta chew them and chew them and chew them. So don't take a huge mouthful because you might choke. It's more likely that that ambulance was coming for someone who's choking on japchae than overdosing on street food.
You know what? Funny story. When I ordered japchae, and then my side eye was glancing at the chili sauce, I was like came straight into it, and the owner was like, "Oh, super spicy! Careful, super spicy!" And I was like, "I want spicy. I miss spicy food."
Is it spicy?
Not really. It's a little bit sweet, like you say, but I love glass noodle.
Don't choke. You might call the ambulance. I don't know the 911 in Korea. All right, home stretch. We are stuffed, but we've got 7,000 left to spend. I could spend it on a Blackpink pillow, but we're going for more food for your enjoyment. So for 5,000 won, leaving us with 2,000 won, we're eating a lot for 100 US dollars. I mean, nobody says Seoul is that cheap, but certainly you can find a lot of cheap street food here in Seoul. We've got this candied strawberry. They had all kinds of different things, all fruits, candied. They basically just pour this sugar syrup over top of it and let it crystallize. I hope this doesn't like break my tooth, but let's try it. This huge strawberry. A little bit sour, a little bit sweet, and a super crunchy, sugary exterior.
Actually, it's really good. It's so crunchy. You gotta be careful not to break a tooth. They had little mandarin oranges too, which I've never seen before, but I had to go with the strawberry. Just looked too good. It explodes with juice in your mouth. Yum. So if I've been counting correctly, that leaves us with 2,000 won left. That was a lot of food for $100. I cheated a little bit for the last 2,000 won. We were so stuck, can't eat anymore, so we just decided to go with a little water bottle. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I took 2 bottles up because they said 1,000 per bottle. So I was like, okay, I have 2,000 won left. And then I got to the front and it was actually buy one, get one free. So I still have 1,000 won left, but that's okay. We're ending it. I still say that's a success in my books for today's $100 Korean food challenge. A lot more food than I was expecting, especially after spending more than 60% of our budget on that Hanwoo beef barbecue this morning. So we've left the Gyeongbokgung Palace and we've come to this Hanok village, a very small one. It's called Ikseondong. We're going to be visiting Jeonju on this trip, which is famous for its Hanok village. So we're just taking a quick peek here and we are heading to eat some more Korean street food. Here in Seoul, they have many alleys dedicated to different types of Korean food. So we've come to another food dedicated alley. This time it's the Korean jeon or pancake. Basically all kinds of different fried things, not just pancakes. And we grabbed a little basket and then you just fill it up with whatever you want. They have so many different choices. It's crazy. I've never seen so many different types of different fried things all in one place. And basically they're gonna chop them up into little pieces and then it's traditionally enjoyed with a glass of makgeolli. So we're gonna sit down and try out some of the jeon, Korean jeon. So I guess it's not really only jeon served here. They serve pretty much everything deep fried, but this is the actual Korean jeon. This is the pancake, what they usually look like anyway. And they didn't cut them up for us, so we're gonna cut it ourselves. This is like a vegetable version, but maybe there's some, oh no, those are carrots. I thought that might have been shrimp in there. So I'm just gonna chop this up. This is the typical jeon, like I'm saying, but there's all kinds of other things we've got. So we've got like a tempura, shrimp tempura. Just gonna chop it all up. And this is like a pork roll. This one is, what's this one? Kimchi with something? Kimchi. Just gonna cut it in half. And then we've got a crab cake underneath there. There's even these peppers, which look really good. And then we've got an omelet. Just gonna chop everything up. And then, like I was saying earlier, you gotta have it with makgeolli, which is this right here. So this is the Korean unfiltered version of soju, I guess you could call it. I think that's safe to say. And it's not served in a cup, but it's actually served in this little bowl. It's very traditional. Pour make a glass here. You can see just how milky white that is. And that is what you definitely need to enjoy your jeon with, or anything deep fried with some makgeolli. Let's dig in. We have a feast of fried delights, Korean delights, and we've got a little sauce here. I think it looks like a soy sauce, maybe with some vinegar and onions. It's not as crunchy as I was expecting. It feels like it was fried maybe yesterday. It's not crispy whatsoever. The inside is really creamy too. Well, the sauce is good though. Okay, let me try this one instead. That wasn't my favorite actually. Let's try this, I think this is kimchi. Yep, this is soy sauce. There's some onions. That one's got a little bit of spiciness. Omelet. Look at that. The omelet might be better than the fried things. Yum. Okay, let's try the pepper. This is a green pepper, you can see in the inside there. I think some of them have been sitting out longer than others. Oh, that green pepper one's really good. It's got a nice kind of sweet, spicy green pepper flavor. And chase it with some makgeolli. So it's carbonated. It's definitely not as strong as soju. It's more of like beer, but carbonated, but it's got the flavor of like sake. That's super refreshing. Oh, there's nothing healthy about this, but it is tasty, kind of. Just a little snack before our actual dinner. I think we need some real food. Let's go. For dinner tonight, after a long day of eating, we've come to have a Korean beef bone soup called Gwangjang. This is similar to another famous dish here in Korea called Seolnangtang. I think I'm definitely saying that wrong, but what makes it different is that dish is like a milky broth using ox bone. This is using beef brisket, and this place is really famous. This is the dish right here, the Gwangjang. So what's really cool about this is there's actually rice in the soup. You can see. It's also sort of similar to another Korean dish called Bibimbap, which is famous from the south of South Korea, Busan. But this is also served with noodles, which is really interesting. There's rice and noodles in there. And then I ordered the large size, which comes with looks like six strips of beef brisket. And then of course, kimchi on the side, different types of kimchi. The Koreans are just master picklers. Anything that comes to your table like this is gonna taste delicious, but I'm just gonna give this a little bit of a mix and try some of the soup with some of the rice first off. Really, really light actually. Super beefy, but it's not salty. It's a very light flavor. The rice is interesting in the soup, but I like it because whenever I eat like a kimchi jjigae or something here in Korea, I always like to put my soup into my rice and just kind of get it all soupy. But here they've already done it for you. You see these beautiful pieces of beef brisket. And a little bit of green onion flavor in there, but it's really a light broth. Very tender. Oh my gosh, that's good. Definitely the first dish I've ever seen in my life that has noodles and rice in the same bowl. And like I was saying earlier, Korean chopsticks make eating noodles super difficult because they're so thin. Perfect winter dish. It is freezing cold outside, and that is nice and warming. Good kimchi. Oh man, so beefy. The soup is awesome. Like really light, healthy, clean flavor. The soup is awesome, but seriously, their kimchi might be even better. I know that's probably just because I've been away from Korea so long, but the kimchi here just hits the spot. So good. Sour, crunchy, a little bit spicy. But this one here is the best yet. Oh man. So I'm nearly done my bowl of gwangjang. That was really good, and what I've realized is that if you take the beef and you can go over a little dip in the kimchi sauce, it makes it even better. It's not the most tender beef, but it's got an amazing beefy flavor. I feel like I can taste the fermentation in that kimchi, like almost like this carbonated, like little bubbles or something. I love it. Finish off with that. So our first snack today is a really popular stall here in the Mangwon market, and this is for a croquette, which is just a deep fried fritter kind of, and this one is stuffed with japchae, which is Korean sweet potato starch glass noodles. So we've got two different kinds. Another one is kimchi, but let's try the japchae first. Oh wow, it's almost like a donut on the outside and then savory in the middle. It's got that fluffy donut texture, but also very crispy and almost crumbly on the outside from being deep fried. And then those japchae noodles on the inside are a little bit sweet, and they're very kind of slippery. And you can see too, there's quite a few vegetables, so I think there's some carrots, some green onions,
Maybe even some potato or radish in there. Let's take one more bite. That is really good. Oh yeah, yum. In order to get to this market, you're going to want to go to the Mapo-gu office station and take exit 8. It's just a short walk after that. And the official name for this place is the Mapo Agricultural and Marine Products Market. It's a little bit discreet, but we will leave some information so you can find it yourself down in the description box. So let's go inside and check it out. So this market isn't very large, but it's definitely got every seafood you could ever imagine. They have all kinds of different types of fish, all the shellfish you could ever imagine. They even have some really unique things like sea pineapples and stingrays. It's a really different atmosphere compared to the Noryangin fish market. I find the vendors are quite friendly, and hopefully the prices will be a little bit lower too. This market also has, besides the seafood, they also have like a pickled Korean side dish section, and then a fresh fruit and vegetable section, and then dried items as well. So it's really just kind of an overall market, and it's a lot of fun just to stroll around. It's really local feeling, not very many tourists whatsoever. Okay. We just made our first purchase in here. This is 2 small abalone, and the owner is really friendly. He helped us out a lot and could speak English really well. And he said that we just take this up to the 2nd floor, and that's where they are cooking all the seafood that you buy downstairs. And that was 5,000 won for 2 small abalone. I think it's a pretty decent price. So let's go get some crab now. All right.
King?
Okay, the king.
King.
How do I hold? Like this? Okay, so they have 2 different kinds of crabs here. This is the first one, and this is the king crab, which is not native to Korea. I think maybe this came from Alaska, but this thing is absolutely massive. Check this out. It weighs a ton. I think one of these goes between 2 to 3 and up kilos. Oh man. Look at the bottom of it. Whoa. Crazy.
Let's try the snow crab.
And let's pick up the second type of crab, which I think is the one we're going to buy. This is the native crab, which is the snow crab.
Clear?
Snow crab, yeah. Like this. Oh. Whoa, yeah. So I think this is the one we're gonna get. This is the snow crab, which is caught in the East Sea right off of Korea. And man, this thing is absolutely huge. Check out the size of this compared to my hand. Okay, this one, how much?
How much?
Okay. Okay. The steam?
Steam.
Okay. And
Number. Hey. Number
16. Okay.
Okay. 16.
We have successfully purchased our snow crab. We have our little ticket here, which is number 16. They have a bunch of crabs steaming in there, and that'll steam away for about 30 minutes. And we are gonna go upstairs, take a seat, and we are gonna have a feast soon. We are seated in the restaurant now. There's 2 different places. You can sit at regular kind of Western style tables, and then there's the Korean traditional style sitting on the floor in a separate room where you take off your shoes and sit down. I have to tell you that instantly this restaurant is ranking in the top 3 most
hectic and chaotic restaurants I've ever dined at. I don't even know really who's working here or how they function serving everyone. It is really, really crazy, and we struggled a little bit, but it's part of the experience, and that's why this place is gonna be good, because it's so local. As soon as you are seated, you're gonna be served a couple side dishes. It looks like we got some bean sprouts. I think there's probably some sesame oil in there, and then of course kimchi. This looks, I think this is sesame oil too, with a little bit of sesame seeds floating in top. We're still waiting for our other dishes to arrive, but we did just get served our abalone. So this is abalone sashimi, which I've actually never tried before, and I think you can maybe tell it's got a little bit of a movement left to it, so it is extremely fresh. And I'm gonna pour a little bit of soy sauce over here into my tray, and I'm gonna try this abalone sashimi. Let's go in for a piece right in the middle. Check that out. Oh man, I have never had this before. I've only had abalone that's been steamed or in a soup. A little bit of soy sauce. Let's try that. Oh. Whoa, that has a really unique texture. It's almost crunchy. It's much more firm than I thought. And it doesn't have too much of a seafood flavor, actually. It just tastes very fresh, a little bit salty, but really, it's all about that texture. It's almost like a really dense, harder cartilage, kind of with that crunch. It's pretty good.
감사합니다.
Wow. Second thing we ordered today is something that's really popular at this restaurant. Pretty much every table has one, so we just pointed and said we wanted one of those. And this is like a Korean fish stew. So you can see there is some big, huge chunks of fleshy white fish in there. Some herbs on top. I see some daikon radish floating around in there. Some bean sprouts, and then it's all in that gochujang red Korean pepper paste stew, and it smells phenomenal. Let's try this Korean stew now. I'm gonna make sure I get a nice big chunk of fish and some of that broth. I'll put it in my bowl here. Oh yeah, look at that. Get a little bit more of that broth. And that smells a little bit spicy, but really delicious. So let me try just the broth by itself. Oh yeah, yeah, that has a kick to it. And I'm gonna break off a little piece of that fish, and oh, that is some tender, soft looking meat on that fish. So let me grab a little bit of that, try that. Little bones, but man, that packs a heat punch. That flesh is really nice and soft though. That's good. All right guys, our crab has arrived, our Korean snow crab. It looks even bigger when it's on this plate like this. It looks absolutely incredible. Bright orange red, and those legs look like they have a ton of meat on them. So let's crack into this. I'm ready to feast. Okay guys, I'm just gonna start cracking these legs off, and they come off pretty easy, just like that. So let me start disassembling this crab. Oh man, I can feel that steamy, hot crab juice oozing out. Oh man, those have got to have quite a bit of meat on them. And the claw, oh yeah. Okay, my crab is disassembled. I'm gonna snip up this crab leg and let me reveal the meat inside. Try not to cut the meat on the inside. And oh, I did kind of wreck it a little bit, but oh man, there is a lot of meat in there. Let me pry that out with my chopsticks. Oh, that is absolutely beautiful. All right, my first bite. Let's try this. Oh man. Oh, that is phenomenal. That is so ridiculously soft and so sweet. That has an incredible sweetness to it, and just that natural kind of crab flavor. Man, this is gonna be a feast. We've got a lot of meat to work with. Let me break this part off, and I'm gonna try to get the rest of that meat out of here, which shouldn't be too hard because there's a lot of it. Look at that. Just check that out. That stringy, delicious white crab meat. Oh. Oh man. Oh man. You don't even need any sauce, just eat it as is. Oh. We are working our way slowly but surely through this crab. There's not any real easy way to eat it, but that's what makes it all the more rewarding. You can kind of cut it with the scissors and then use your chopsticks to pry out the meat. And man, these legs are just packed full of meat. Oh man. There, let me open this up. Check that out. Oh. And then you just use your chopsticks like this. Pry all that meat back. Oh man, look at that. That is absolutely beautiful. Let's try that. Oh. Man, the amount of meat on this crab is unparalleled to any other shellfish I've ever had in my life. Let's check that out. Oh man, it's so like naturally buttery almost. Okay, the moment I've been waiting for the most is here, the claw. So let me just crack that open, and that's gonna be pretty tough to break into, but let me go in with the scissors here. Try to break through that. Oh man. Oh yeah, and maybe I can actually just bend this backwards. Pull that out, not too much meat there, but oh, you can see that meat in there. One more snip, and I should be able to see it. Oh man, that is tough. There we go. Oh. All right, let's see. Oh man, look at that. That is absolutely gorgeous. Let me pull that out. Oh man. Oh man. I am in messy crab heaven right now. Oh man, I don't care. I'm getting crab juice everywhere. Things are flying out of my mouth. Finished off with our crab feast. There was so much meat in that. We could barely finish the whole platter, but the crab was certainly the highlight. Sabrina is claiming best meal ever. I'm convinced. That was really, really good. This market is a lot of fun, and like I said, it is a really good alternative to the Noryangjin fish market. I think the prices are a lot better. I'm not exactly sure what the going rate for snow crab is at Noryangjin, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was double or even more. So I think, what are we doing now?
Woo, we are going out and hitting the town. We're gonna go look for some coffee.
Yeah, we're gonna go get some coffee, so let's go. Café now. We've ordered up 2 different types, and let me introduce these. These look really cool. So the first one is this kind of mini cup that has been overflowed with chocolate and cream, and this is called the scotchino. So there should be some kind of like butterscotch flavors there, and then there's little kind of crunchy pieces of chocolate on top, and it's pretty unique because he's completely overflowed it. And next we've got this one, the Charlie Brown. I think that's Charlie Brown, right, Sabrina?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, Charlie Brown. This is the cream art. So you can see this is just a regular, oh, it's actually cold. I thought it was hot coffee, but it feels really cold on the outside, and you can see that is really a drink, even though it looks like art. I don't really want to wreck it by drinking it, but I do want to know what it tastes like. So let's try both these out. All right, let's try this one out here. Served in a really small glass. Yeah, definitely butterscotch. And this one's also cold. I thought they were both going to be hot, but they're both cold. And this one has quite a bit of like a chocolate flavor and super, super creamy. Oh man, that's pretty good. Charlie Brown's had better days. Finished off with our coffees. That was pretty interesting. Honestly, when I saw it on Instagram, I was a little bit unsure whether or not it was just gimmicky, but the coffee actually tasted really good. I especially liked the scotchino one. It had a nice kind of butterscotch flavor to it, but
Do note, it's a little bit expensive, and that scotchino was only like this big. It was only like 2 mouthfuls of coffee, but pretty cool and, you know, really good for Instagram pictures. So now I think we're gonna walk around this district. We're in an area called Itaewon. We're just gonna kind of explore and build up an appetite before we go get some dinner tonight. Our final meal today is going to be at a really cool restaurant called Okdong-sik, and it's in this really kind of discreet alleyway here in Seoul. They're famous for selling Gukbap, which is a soup of rice and pork, and this place is really unique because they only serve 100 bowls of this a day, so I'm really excited to go try it out. Let's go. So we have our bowl here. It is quite a simple dish actually. There's only 2 main ingredients, and that's the rice and the pork, and then the broth is like just a stew of pork. And this place is really kind of modern and chic, and there's only 1 counter bar seating. It's a pretty cool place. And I love the silverware that they're using here too. So let's actually try this bowl out. I'm just gonna go in, grab some of the rice first here. Let's try that. It's really delicate, really delicate. And the broth has quite like a really kind of light pork flavor and a little bit of a saltiness too. When we grab some of this pork, you can see it's just these thin sheets of pork. Let's try that by itself. Really delicate, and a really nice balance between kind of some fatty bits and some lean bits. So the Gwangjang market is this absolute massive building that is filled with all sorts of different goods. There's sort of like a textiles area, there's all kinds of pickles and fresh fruit and veg, fresh seafood, but also there's lots of ready to eat street foods. We always come here every time we come to Seoul because the food's really good even though the market's quite touristy. We showed you the Mangwon market a couple episodes ago, which is a nice alternative if you want something a little bit more local, but definitely still check out the Gwangjang market because there is a lot of good food. So we're gonna find a stall, sit down, and start eating. A lot of the stalls here at the Gwangjang market are serving pretty much the same variety of the typical Korean street food, so you can pick pretty much any one and sit down, and we just ordered up 3 of the classic dishes, some of our favorites, so let me introduce them. The first off is the japchae, which is the Korean potato starch glass noodles, the cellophane noodles with a little bit of sesame oil drizzled on top, some greens, and some carrots. And then next up we've got the mandu, which are Korean style dumplings. This one's just pork with chives, and then this one is kimchi, and then served with a little bit of a sauce there. And then the tteokbokki, which is the spicy, super spicy looking Korean rice cake. Let me actually just grab one of these right now. These look too good. I want to try this out. Let's try that. It's so chewy. Those are actually quite spicy, and they have a little bit of a sweetness to them, but really it's all about the texture. They're like a really, really chewy, thick noodle. So let's try out these mandu next. I'm gonna go in for one of the kimchi kind. Those are my favorite. And I love how they're kind of wrapped up like a little ring almost. Dip it in this soy sauce. We grab some of these green onions. Let's try that. The wrapper is so thin. The kimchi is still got a little bit of a crisp bite to it in there. A little bit of a sourness too from that fermented kimchi. It's also kind of got like a cheesiness to it mixed with that kimchi and that wrapper, and then that soy from the saltiness from that soy sauce. That is like seriously a really delicious little bite. One of my favorite things at the whole Gwangjang market, the kimchi mandu. Let's try these japchae next. Grab some of these. Let's try that. Oh, sesame oil. Really strong sesame oil flavor. They're super slippery and they're really soft noodles too. And then a little bit of a crunch from the carrot in there. These are 3 of my favorite, all-time favorite Korean street foods here at the Gwangjang market. We ordered up, like I said, 3 of the most popular. Another really popular one is the Kimbap. We tried that at the Mung market, so we wanted to have something different today at the Gwangjang market. They also serve sundae, which is Korean blood sausage. All kinds of different noodles. You can get Bibimbap here. You can get seafood. You can get some intestines, all kinds of different things. Anything you could ever imagine Korean street food wise, it is here at the Gwangjang market. We're finished off with our meal. Gonna take a little bit of a walk through the market, just check out the rest of the sites, and that'll be it for the Gwangjang market this morning. So we were on our way out of the Gwangjang market. We spotted a stall that was pretty popular, serving some sort of a dessert that we have never tried before. So we have it here. It is a adzuki red bean rice porridge. So you can see that red bean broth, really, really thick. And then you can see all that rice in there too. And then there's some little chewy balls in there. I'm not exactly sure what they made it of, maybe tapioca. I'm not exactly sure. Let me know if you know down in the comment box. So let me get some of this. I'm just gonna try the broth and the rice by itself, and it's steaming hot. Oh, it's not nearly as sweet as I thought it was going to be. It's actually a lot more savory than I imagined. I think I'm supposed to put sugar in it.
You can do that.
Inside here? Yeah, okay. I'm just seeing now there is some sugar on the table, so I'm imagining I gotta put this in. I'm gonna grab quite a decent amount of sugar here, put that in, and mix that up a little bit. And I think that is what makes it into more of a dessert. You can adjust the sweetness to your preference. So let me try that now. I'm gonna grab one of those chewy balls too. Oh wow, that ball just completely disintegrated in my mouth. It definitely tastes a little bit better with the sweetness. It's not so bland. Definitely add a little bit of sugar, but this is an interesting and super comforting, warming dessert. Finish off the Gwangjang market. This place has a spot in my heart. I really love it. It is such an amazing place to come to in Seoul if you want to taste some real authentic food, and it's really easy for tourists and foreigners. The signage is mostly in English and prices are a little bit more expensive, but the food is legit and it's really easy just to pick a stall, sit down. All the ajuma, the aunties, are really, really friendly. So make sure you check it out if you're ever in Korea. Right now we are going to head to a Hanok village. So let's go. So the famous Hanok village here in Seoul is called the Buchan Hanok village. This is not that one. We've been there before. This one is called the Ikseon Hanok village. And a Hanok is a traditional Korean style home or structure, I guess. This area is really cool. It's kind of got these really narrow alleyways, pretty busy, lots of cool little cafes. The old buildings, of course. I love the roofs and also the doors. It's a cool atmosphere, a nice place to walk around. I'm really surprised at how busy and popular this place is. It seems like a lot more tourists knew about it before I did, because I pictured it as a much less busy version of the Buchan village, but I think it's just as busy, but it is still really beautiful. I think we're gonna pop into a cafe here, get a coffee. So we popped into this cafe. It's completely packed with people. It's actually quite loud in here, but the setting is really cool. It's in this sort of Hanok building, and there's even like a little garden right directly inside. So I've got myself a latte here, and then also this chocolate scone. It looks really sweet. So let me break this open. Oh, it's actually quite hard. I'm gonna kind of cut it in half here.
Oh yeah. And I'll pick this up, try that. That's super buttery and not actually as sweet as I had imagined. It's pretty good. Try the latte. We are at the Korean barbecue restaurant. It is super rowdy in here, really loud, and there is tons of different Korean barbecue restaurants here in Seoul. I don't know how many, tens of thousands I'd imagine, but this one in particular is my favorite. This place is just packed with locals pretty much every day of the week, and Korean barbecue comes in all kinds of different unique styles. A lot of them even have like egg around the outside or cooking over charcoal, but this one is pretty simple. So you can see right here, we've got these nice pieces of samgyeopsal, which is the Korean pork belly, right on the grill with all that oil, and then the kimchi on the grill, and that is what really makes this one so unique to me. You grill that kimchi right on there, and also you can kind of tell that the grill is slanted, so all of that pork juice kind of drips down and soaks into that kimchi, and it just makes it so good. So we have an array of all kinds of other dishes. Of course, soup. We've got a jjigae here, which is just Korean stew. We've got our lettuce leaves over here, which we'll use to wrap, and then all kinds of different condiments to make a nice little pouch of delicious flavor. And we've got also our aprons on, you know, just to avoid the juices from the pork. And check this out, it looks really good. No Korean barbecue is complete without some soju. This is like the national drink of Korea. We've got the grapefruit flavor. It goes down a little bit smoother. So the worker just came over, and as you can see, he cut up all of our pork. This is some really good looking quality pork. There's not too much fat on it. He's chopped it into nice bite-sized pieces. Our kimchi is just bubbling away, and I'm gonna make a little wrap for myself. So let me grab a piece of lettuce here and a piece of pork. Grab one of these guys, put it in my lettuce, and then I definitely gotta get some of this kimchi too. Oh man, my mouth is watering. Get a piece of kimchi, check that out, that looks beautiful. One more piece. And then a little bit of this gochujang sauce down here. Grab some of that, make it a little bit more. All right, and put that on top. You can just wrap this up, and that is the perfect little one-biter. Let's try that. Oh no. That is, I don't even know how to describe how much I'm just in love with eating food in that way. You just assemble the perfect bite, sour kimchi, that kind of fatty, delicious, smoky pork, a little bit of sweetness and a little bit of spiciness from that gochujang, and then you wash everything down with a little bit of soju. Oh man, this is a feast.
Last night we slept in a Hanok, which is a traditional Korean home built all wood, traditional style. The floors are heated, so it's nice and toasty warm, but you also sleep on the floor, which I have to say is a little bit uncomfortable, but I think I slept all right. And we have a simple breakfast here, but this is a really interesting dish for breakfast. This is like a black sesame paste kind of soup. I love this. Had it in Vietnam, had it in Hong Kong, but I've never had it in Korea, so let's try it. Oh, it's less sweet here. Oh, it's just like pure sesame. A nutty goodness. Also a little sandwich here. It looks like maybe some, I'm not sure, some jam inside. I'm just gonna go for a dip. Staying in a Hanok is the reason a lot of people actually come to Jeonju. This one that we say is called Samlokon. It's right in the center of Jeonju's famous Hanok village. That was a really tasty breakfast, especially that sesame soup, and the details in the woodworking of these Hanoks is just incredible. They also have like the paper walls, and all the details just make for such a peaceful stay. And like I was saying, the floors in the Hanoks are heated, which is really nice, but also the mattresses are heated. I've never seen that before, so you're super toasty warm despite it actually being quite cold here in Jeonju, but it does take a little bit getting used to sleeping on the floor. So first things first, let's go eat Jeonju's most famous dish, Bibimbap.
So this is Hanbok. This is one of the most famous places to eat bibimbap in Jeonju, and the reason is because this is the first restaurant that started to serve Jeonju style bibimbap since 1952. Many famous people have eaten here, past presidents, the founder of Samsung, and it's on the Michelin guide as well. And we ordered up the famous Jeonju style bibimbap, but I'll tell you a little bit about the history. It kind of started a long time ago with people just sort of taking the leftovers and then mixing them all into their rice. So as you know, in Korea there's a lot of different side dishes. So all of those leftovers just mixed in with the rice. That was the origins of the bibimbap, but now today it's become more of a luxury, a very refined dish. And I've ordered up their specialty. There's only 3 different types. You can get it in a hot stone, you can get it with cooked beef, or you can get it with raw beef, which I've got right here. There are so many different ingredients, I can't name them all. I think there's something like 30 different ingredients, but basically it's all on a bed of rice that was cooked with a beef broth. And you can see I've got the raw beef, they call it yokhoi here. So raw marinated beef. There's ginkgo nuts there's mung bean jelly, all kinds of different things. And the key sauce is this Korean gochujang sauce, the fiery hot red sauce. And this bowl is hot, but they also have like the earthenware pot, which is even hotter than this one. And you have to bibimbap it up. You gotta mix it all up. Mix, mix, mix. This is the dish to try in Jeonju. You cannot come to Jeonju without eating bibimbap. One of the best Korean dishes in the world, but this is the place to try it. So many different things in there. It smells so good. And then we've even got even more side dishes here as well. Like there isn't already enough ingredients inside of this. I've never tried it with the raw beef before, so this is gonna be my first try. Okay, you gotta get this really mixed in because you want that gochujang to get all over top of the rice. And I can see lots of bean sprouts in there, some shiitake mushrooms, there's greens, there's pickles, there's all sorts of different things. But this is the raw beef version. Let's give it a try. The flavor is actually light. It's just the gochujang, a little bit spicy, a little bit sweet, but you get so many different textures in there from all the different veggies. And the meat, because it's raw, it's just so tender, but it's marinated, so you can taste a little bit of soy in there as well. Oh my gosh, yum. It's so healthy, it just tastes so healthy. And then you keep chewing, you get kind of like different textures, different flavors. A little bit sour, I think I just chewed on a pickle. It's just an explosion of flavor, but at the same time it's really a light flavor. It's not overpowering. You can taste the natural flavors of all those different ingredients. There's so much going on in there. Yum. a super hearty dish, but also very healthy.
So Mink has the cooked beef version. Exact same thing, I think. All the ingredients are the same, but just with the cooked beef. I'm gonna mix that around. There's seaweed in there as well, nori. This mung bean jelly is really good too.
I wasn't totally sure if I was gonna like the raw beef, but honestly, it's so tender. It just feels like, when it's mixed in with all the ingredients, it just feels like a really tender piece of beef, and every single bite is like a surprise. It's like a mystery. You get all these different ingredients in it, and then if it wasn't enough ingredients inside the bibimbap, you've also got these tons of banchan here. I'm just a kimchi lover. I love all the banchan, but I gotta give it up for the kimchi every time. Sour, spicy, crunchy. You know, like I was saying, there's 3 different types that they serve here. 3 different types of bibimbap. There's the raw beef, the cooked beef like minka, and then the dolsot bibimbap, which is the cooked beef in the stone or earthenware pot. That one's really good too, because you get the crispy rice on the side. It starts to kind of cook to the side of the pot. But this is the famous Jeonju style that you have to try when you're here. I usually go for the other kind though, if I'm being honest. That was some amazing bibimbap. You just feel so great after eating that because it's just so healthy, all the different ingredients in there. One other thing that Jeonju is famous for, besides, as I was saying, the Hanok village and its food, is wearing a hanbok, so a traditional Korean dress. So luckily for me, I have a volunteer who's going to dress up in one. You ready to get in a hanbok?
I'm very kind of excited and nervous at the same time.
Do it.
So this shop has hundreds of different colors of hanboks and different styles, and Mink has chosen one that she likes. You can do men and women. I'm not going to do it today though, just Mink, and this is something people love to do when they visit Jeonju. It's one of the most popular things to do for sure.
Ta-da!
Wow.
How do I look? I picked the pink because it's my favorite color.
Let's go do a photo shoot.
Let's go.
So we've come to this shrine, which is the perfect place for a photo shoot. This entire Hanok village is just like set up for taking photos in the Hanbok, which Mink is in right now. It makes you feel like you're stepping back in time. Look how beautiful she is. So beautiful. You like it?
I really, really like it. It's so pretty.
Yeah.
The pink and the blue flowers.
It's like you're in a Korean drama set in the 1600s. All right, finished off at the shrine. I think we got some really good photos, and I'll include them in the video so you can see, and let's go get changed out of this and head to the market. I don't think this is appropriate for the market.
Very hard.
So this is the Nambu market here in Jeonju. It's a morning market and a night market on the weekends, but we have come in the afternoon, which means it is quite dead in here. There's not a whole lot going on, but there is a restaurant in here, so we're going to pop into the restaurant and try some more traditional Jeonju cuisine. So we popped into this restaurant right inside of the Nambu market, and they're famous for their red bean porridge with rice balls, and this is one portion. Just look at the size of this. It's absolutely massive. Look at that rich red bean. And this is kind of like a dessert, sort of like a breakfast maybe dessert. But even with desserts here in Korea, you're gonna get served the side dishes. So we've got kimchi, different banchan,
I'm just gonna take some of this and put it in my bowl here. Try to get some of those rice balls. And you can also add sugar and salt as you wish. I think I'm just gonna try it first by itself. This is such a massive portion. I'm glad we only ordered one because this is too big for 2 people. Okay, I'm gonna go generous with the sugar because that really doesn't have any flavor whatsoever. Brown sugar, give it a little mix. Let me try one of these rice balls. They're just rice balls, they're not dumplings, they're not filled with anything. Yum. With the sugar, that's really nice. Really chewy balls. And that red bean, which is so ridiculously creamy and thick. It was really satisfying. Warming, just steaming hot. Look at the steam coming off of it. It's so rich, creamy red bean. Man, that is a massive portion. Be careful if you come here. Only order one if you're with 2 people. If you're by yourself, you're gonna be eating a ton of this red bean soup. The dumplings are a little bit salty, or rice balls, I guess I should call them. But then with the sugar, it's a nice kind of salty, sweet mix. Yeah. And this place is just packed it with elderly folk. I think this is what the older generation likes to eat. I don't think I've ever eaten so much red bean in my life. But a nice little snack, I think probably not on tourists' radar typically when they're visiting Jeonju. There are a lot of famous foods. This one's maybe less famous, but still particularly popular here in Jeonju. Give it a try. If you like red bean, you'll love this. It's a little bit weird for us to eat our dessert first, but we are still hungry, so we're gonna head and get some real lunch. So we just went to a popular dumpling store. It's takeaway only, and they actually make you microwave the dumplings before if you want them hot, which is a little bit strange, but this is a famous dumpling found here in Jeonju because of this triangle shape, which makes it unique. And you can see there's shrimp tail sticking at the end here. So this is like a shrimp and veggie dumpling. And let's put a little bit of sauce on here, a little bit of soy sauce. So we've just taken it away back to our Hanok. Let's give it a try. It's huge. There's actually kimchi inside as well, of course. Nice plump dumpling with really fresh shrimp. Actually better than I was expecting, seeing that they asked us to microwave it, which was a little bit off-putting, but it's actually a really flavorful dumpling. Look at all that kimchi filling. There's a lot of filling. Portions here. Jeonju are crazy. It's almost like a patty inside of the dumpling. Wow, not bad. So far, Jeonju is a really pretty little town with lots of awesome places to take pictures. It is a UNESCO city of gastronomy, and it's known for its food. But other than the Bibimbap, nothing has been super impressive so far today. The Bibimbap was incredible. I'm sure you can get great Bibimbap in Seoul though. Other than that, everything's just been kind of alright, but we'll see. We've seen it. Okay, we are at our first stop today at the Gwangjang Olympic Market, and this woman behind me here is cooking up a very interesting dish. So this is called Namdaemun buchigi, which is a buckwheat jeon, or Korean pancake. So what she does basically is fries up some kimchi and some chives, and then uses a buckwheat
batter to fry up the pancake. So it is nice and cozy warm in here, and it smells really amazing, and she's cooking a ton of these. So I'm going to buy one, but first I want to talk about what this is. So this here is a Onori gift certificate, and I will be using these throughout our 3-part series to buy all of our delicious foods at Korean traditional markets, and you can buy these too. So actually this is 10,000 won, but it only costs you 9,500 won, so that is a 5% discount to buy these, and you can buy these at most major banks in Korea. So let's order one of these up and try it out. I'm really excited to try this. So we just ordered up our little pancake, and it is quite a simple dish, but it smells extremely fragrant, and you can see it is piping hot. And this kimchi is actually like a pickled cabbage like any kimchi, but this is not a spicy pickled kimchi. She does have that option, but I wanted to try this one. And then you can see the chives in there as well. And then as I mentioned, that is a buckwheat flour. So let's break off a piece here and dig in. Make sure that I get a nice hefty serving of kimchi in there, and that'll be a good bite. And she's also actually served it up with some sauce. So over here, there's some sauce. Dip that in. Oh yeah, and let's try that. All right. Oh yeah, this is very simple, as I mentioned, but that batter is kind of like elasticy, and then that kimchi in there, super crisp, not spicy whatsoever. And the sauce that she served it with is a soy sauce with a little bit of chilies, but there's not too much heat to it, just a little bit of saltiness. And then you can also taste those chives in there, definitely. But it's all about that batter. Like, it is just like a stretchy, elasticy batter, and that is awesome. Let's take another bite here. Oh yeah, that's just simply delicious, and it's just slightly crispy on the outsides. All right, this is awesome, super comforting. This is just a perfect food on a cold day like today, and the women here are so nice. It's amazing to just watch her cooking up all of these behind us. She does an incredible job, and they're just super tasty. So we're gonna finish this off, keep going today. Okay, this is an extremely cool market, extremely busy, but there's also a little outdoor section. So we just came from inside, and now we're outside, and we're looking for some more street food, and this actually looks good right here.
아줌마, 저 앞으로 가셔야 돼. 글로 이사 갔어. 나 손대모여 가 아줌마. 왔어.
Okay, we have our next snack today, and we just ordered up some freshly made odeng, which is fish cake, and this guy's kind of making them into a ball. They come in all different shapes and forms, but he's made them into a ball, so we just got some fresh ones, spicy kind and not so spicy kind, but it's really cool how he's making them here. You can see the paste, and he kind of spreads the paste out and cuts them into little balls, and then dumps them into the oil over here. So let's try one of these out. This is fresh out of the fryer, and you can see it's quite oily looking, but it looks really good. Oh, it smells really good too. Oh wow. Oh, that's hot. Super hot. Oh, that is much softer than I thought. I thought it was going to be crunchy on the outside, but it's actually kind of like pillowy, squishy almost, and it has quite a bit of flavor to it. It's a little bit salty, almost a little bit sweet. I think there's some vegetables in there. You can see it might be some corn or kimchi in there, maybe some green onions. And let's dig down underneath these. And under here, we've got some of the spicy version. Okay, that's just a small one, but let's try that anyway. And this is the spicy version here. Oh yeah, no, that's really good too. Just a little bit spicier than the other one. And that one's not as fresh, a little bit crispier on the outside, but that's really good. Nice fresh made odeng fish cake.
sweet.
Okay, we just ordered our Korean donut and we ordered the sweet kind with red bean, and I'm just gonna rip this open, and it is super hot, fresh out of the oil, and rip that guy open, and oh yeah. Oh yeah, there is a ton of red bean in there. Oh man, that is super gooey. So let's take a big bite of that. Oh, that's gonna be hot. Oh yeah. Oh, that is packed with red bean. There is a ton of red bean in there. And it's super crispy on the outside and really nice and sweet on the inside. Bean flavored, and it's pretty simple again, but really warming and comfort food today. Okay, we just ordered up another sweet, and this is called hoetteok. And as you can see, this is very similar, but it's filled with honey. So there is honey and peanuts and sugar and maybe some other nuts of sorts or seeds in there. But man, this looks awesome, and it is super hot too, fresh off the fryer. So let's try this. As you can see, this one's got more of like a flatness to it than the donut that we just had. But this is super, super hot in my hand. So I'm gonna try not to burn myself here. Oh yeah, I much prefer that. It is super, super gooey on the inside, extremely sweet. You can taste those peanuts in there, and I think there might be some pumpkin seeds in there, a couple anyway. Oh man, that is awesome. Okay, we did quite a bit of snacking this morning, but now we have sat down at a traditional Korean restaurant right inside of the Pyeongchang Olympic Market, and we are sitting right on the floor in the traditional way, the heated floors, and it's really comfy and cozy. But we just ordered up a massive bowl of mandu soup, so just check this out. We've got a bunch of dumplings in here, and it looks like this is some tteokbokki, which is the Korean rice cake. There's some egg in there, some greens, some seaweed, and it's all in this kind of milky broth. And these dumplings just look super, super plump. Also, of course, we've been given our banchan, which is the side dishes. We've got some kimchi, we've got some pickled peppers, it looks like, some pickled pear, and then also over here we've got a sauce for the dumplings. So this is a really cool little spot, and I'm ready to dive into this meal. So this is quite a milky looking broth. I'm just gonna start by tasting that. Oh, I think it's beef-based broth. It's actually very light in flavor, not very salty at all, and you can already taste the kimchi in there kind of seeped into that broth, but that is delicious. So I'm actually gonna grab one of these dumplings, just put it over on my bowl here, and let's try that guy. And look at how plump that looks like. It is super slippery. I can barely hold it in my chopsticks, and that's gonna be hot. Let's try it. Oh yeah, that is just packed with kimchi. That's actually quite a spicy kimchi in there. You can still feel that it's crisp, and the wrapper of that dumpling is kind of absorbed the flavor, the beef flavor of that broth. Oh man, that's really, really good. Those are plump dumplings. Pretty sure this is the Asian pear, pickled Asian pear, spicy Korean pickle. Let's try that. Yep, and that's super, super crisp. Served cold, not too spicy. A little bit sour too. Okay, moving on to the next side dish. Let's try this. I'm pretty certain this is a pickled pepper. Oh, that's nice. That is a little bit spicy. It almost kind of tastes like eggplant, and that's creamy and quite spicy. The heat is building now. Ooh. And last but not least, the kimchi. Try that. Oh yeah, super sour. Oh, that's good kimchi. This kind of looks like a soy sauce. We'll find out after I try, and there's some sesame seeds in there and some green onions as well. Well, let's try that. Okay, those dumplings are amazing. They're extremely plump and juicy, and that's definitely a soy sauce, maybe a little bit of sesame oil in there as well, and that gives it a nice little saltiness. That's awesome. This is a stellar meal to end our day of eating here at the Pyeongchang Olympic Market. Oh man, that looks awesome. And a whole bed of steamed rice on the bottom. Oh, some soup. So she just literally took one of each ingredient. So let's count 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17 different ingredients. A couple different sauces, some spicy sauce, a sesame oil, and there's all kinds of different things in here. Lots of greens, bean sprouts, some Asian pear, maybe some eggplant, maybe mushrooms, I'm not sure. Yeah, lots of things. That looks awesome. So we have to mix it up now.
So I'm gonna mix it up now.
Okay, we've mixed up our bowl of bibimbap, and there's 2 different kinds you can get. Maybe not here, but this spot is only serving the kind of cold, but it's still. So we also ordered up some kimchi mandu, which is the kimchi dumplings, and those look awesome. Quite a bit of them. And she serves them with a sauce. It's like some soy and sesame oil and lots of sesame seeds. Oh, this is gonna be a good little breakfast feast. This is sort of like served in a regular bowl and just with some warm rice and tons of veggies, but you can also get it where they serve it in the earthenware pot and it's steaming hot, but this is just kind of the regular kind. And I'm gonna get a big bite here with a lot of the ingredients. Oh man, that's good. So many crisp vegetables in there, and the perfect amount of spice. Not too spicy for breakfast. And I can definitely taste a lot of those bean sprouts in there. And also she put some coriander and lots of things. There's so many ingredients here, lots of different pickles. Oh man, that's a good bowl. Maybe some basil as well. Let's take another bite. Oh man, sour and spicy. That's good breakfast. And there's just so many good ingredients in here. There's also some dill and chives, so many different things, mushrooms. Oh man.
Yeah, correct. Can I
full of flavor.
Cook to Terry, yeah.
So I really love that Asian pear. That's an ingredient we've been eating a lot here in Korea, and it's just awesome. And we also, like I said, ordered up these kimchi mandu. So we're going to try one of these guys out, and they're wrapped into kind of this like circle donut shape. and dip it in a little bit of sauce. Yeah, that should be good. Try to one bite it, hopefully it's not too hot. Oh, it's so soft and juicy. But the kimchi inside is still really crisp and sour and spicy again. Oh man, those go really well together, the bibimbap and the kimchi mandu. Oh. So the atmosphere here in the Gwangjang market is amazing. I love just sitting in front of these mountains of all the ingredients and having an awesome bowl of bibimbap for breakfast.
야야.
We are at our final place today and we have come to have a very famous Busan specialty. That is the Duoji Gukbap, which is a pork shank rice soup. So we have ordered up our bowl and this just looks phenomenal. Served to us in an earthenware pot. So this is a broth that's made with mostly soy sauce and miso and then boiled down pork bones. And then on top you can see a ton of green onions. And then in here, oh, it looks like we've got a little bomb of gochujang red pepper, spicy red pepper sauce, so we'll mix that around. But we have a ton of pork shank, pork meat in here, and then also the rice. So as you can see, there's quite a bit of rice in there, and as I mentioned, this is an extremely famous dish here in Busan, and this looks awesome. The owners told us that we need to season it. So over here we have a shrimp brine, which he mentioned is extremely salty. So there's some baby shrimp in there, and then over here we have some chives that have quite a bit of chili flakes. It looks like maybe a little bit of gochujang pepper sauce on there, and this just looks awesome. So let's put these seasonings into our soup. So as you can see, this broth has almost like a milky consistency to it, and I'm just gonna try it first before I season it to get the full flavor. And let's try that. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. Oh, that definitely does need to be seasoned because there's absolutely no salt in there whatsoever, but that is extremely meaty and porky flavored. That's really good, but let's add some of the seasonings now. So let's add some of these baby shrimp brine, and I'm just gonna go in here with my spoon, grab some of these guys, and plop those right into my soup. And he mentioned that we'll add a little bit of saltiness, but he also said we should put some salt into it. So I will grab some salt and some pepper. Pepper first, this is black pepper. Give a hefty dose of black pepper. And then I'll grab this salt. Don't want to add too much. Try that. All right. And mix that around a little bit here. And also, I'm definitely going to be adding these spicy chives. Just check these out. These look awesome. There's a ton of them here, and they are coated in red pepper. So let's put those in. Maybe a little bit more. Oh yeah, that's gonna be good. So let's try that out now. Give it a little bit of a mix. And now I'm gonna try it with just some of those chives and some of that broth. All right, and I've also got a little bit of rice in this spoonful. Oh yeah. Oh, with that black pepper, that is really nice. Those chives are a little bit crisp and also a little bit spicy, and that definitely just raised the flavor profile of that broth. And let's try to get a big spoonful with some meat and everything. Oh yeah. Okay, let's try that. Oh yeah. Okay, that pork meat is ridiculously tender. That is awesome, and they did not go lightly. There is a ton of pork here. They are cooking up a ton of this gukbap, and out front they actually have a massive kind of small mountain of pork meat. Oh, this is just awesome. It's a very simple dish, but it's extremely hearty, flavorful. It's not too spicy. I might actually add a little bit more gochujang here. He mentioned that this gochujang over here is extremely spicy, so I won't put too much. We'll just grab a little bit, and we'll add that in and give it a good mixing. But he warned us with caution that that is a spicy red pepper sauce, but that's okay, I think it could use it. Oh yeah, that is spicy. Ooh, that just punched me right in the back of the throat. So this Gukbap is just incredible. It is really full of flavor after we've seasoned it, and I just can't get over the amount of pork that's in here, and these huge pieces too. And as you can see, I've added quite a bit of that gochujang, that really extra spicy red pepper sauce, and it is getting extremely fiery. So actually, I'm gonna go in now and grab a piece of pork here, and I'm gonna dip it over in this sauce, which is a vinegar, soy, garlic sauce, and it goes really nice. Let's try that. Oh yeah. That gives it just what it needs, a little bit of an acidic kind of zing to it. Oh, that's awesome. So this is our first time ever here in South Korea, and we arrived extremely late last night and didn't get a chance to eat. But we heard that this is the spot in Seoul, Gwangjang Market, to have some of the best food. So we woke up bright and early for breakfast today.
First impressions, there's a lot of delicious looking food here. I'm really excited to try.
Alright, we're sitting down for our first snack today, and this is called Bibimbap, and it is a mung bean pancake, and it's kind of like shallow fried in quite a bit of oil, and I'm just going to try it out here. It looks like there's quite a bit of ingredients, maybe some green onions, some bean sprouts, and it's just golden crispy on the outside. It's almost like a hash brown. It's really hot, and those bean sprouts inside are really good. Kind of has like an earthy taste. It's nice and crispy too. Wow, that's really good. Yeah, this is good. It's like a gigantic hash brown almost, golden crispy on the outside. This time I'm gonna dip it in a little bit of the sauce. So I got a nice piece here. Let's dip that in. Maybe try to get an onion as well. Oh yeah, that'll be good. There's definitely vinegar in that sauce as well. That's nice and like sour, and those onions go really well with it. Wow, this is really, really good. Actually, our first little bit of Korean food, definitely a good one. And our first Korean street food experience, and it is really, really good. So the bibimbap is actually made with a mung bean batter, and then they kind of shallow fry it in quite a bit of oil, and you can actually see them grinding up the mung beans over there. And there's tons of good little ingredients in here. We're just getting to the end. This was 4,000 won, so about $4 US. And this sauce really does a good job soaking into the Korean pancake here. Oh man, it's delicious, so crispy.
Final thoughts, that was awesome. A little greasy, but it tasted really good. 떡볶이. 맛있게 드세요.
Okay, sitting down at our second stall today, and we just ordered up 2 awesome looking foods. So the first one right here, this is tteokbokki, and it is a rice cake, Korean rice cake in red pepper sauce. So I'm just gonna kind of smother that in sauce and take a bite. This will also be my first time trying this. It's gonna be hot. It's kind of like a more firm version of mochi. And that sauce is actually a little bit sweet but quite spicy. And it's definitely piping hot. And oh man, that sauce is where all that flavor is coming from. So our second dish we ordered is this. This is the Kimbap. And these are kind of like, they're not sushi, they're just filled with vegetables. It looks like some carrots, some radish, and rice. And then served with a sauce here. So I'll dip it in a little bit of sauce and try that. And it's just topped with a ton of sesame seeds too. Oh, extremely crisp. And that radish, pickled radish on the inside is a little bit sour. And that's a wasabi sauce, maybe with something else mixed in it. But super sesame and sesame oil flavor. Oh, that's awesome. Tteokbokki and the Kimbap, and both were awesome. Those little kimbap rolls were my favorite. And the stalls here, the whole atmosphere is so cool. You're just sitting right bar side at every spot, and the service is so friendly too. This is awesome. Shike? Yeah, okay. Well, we just ordered up a drink after that spicy tteokbokki, and this is called shike, and it's a traditional rice drink. And you can see right here, there's some spinning around in the jug. So I'm gonna try this out, it's my first time. Yeah, kind of like has like a very faint rice flavor, I guess. A little bit sweet. And almost like a little bit fruity too. That's actually really refreshing. And there's actually bits of rice down in the bottom. So that's pretty cool. At our next stop here, and we have ordered up 2 new dishes. The first one is this. This is sundae, which is the Korean blood sausage. So that looks really interesting. And over here we have a big plate of japchae, which is the Korean like glass noodles with a lot of sesame seeds on here. And then of course we've got our kimchi over here. So this looks like an awesome little feast. I'm gonna start with the japchae. These are a sweet potato starch noodle, and they're a glass noodle, and she's got some vegetables in here, some carrots and tons of sesame seeds and sesame oil. They're really smooth, like super slippery, and almost like a little nutty from that sesame oil. And she dunked them in odang fish cake broth, and man, that's really good. We weren't sure if we were gonna try it today, but we've decided to go with it, and that is the Korean sundae, which is a blood sausage. So there is some mung bean noodles in here, and then some, I believe it's pork blood. And also, over here, she's given us a little bit, I believe it's just some salt and some chili powder. So I will dip a little bit of that and try that out. It's quite a big bite, actually. Wow. It's really bouncy. Like, really, really bouncy, kind of hard to chew. So I guess there's like a faint kind of blood iron taste there, and I'm gonna chase that with a piece of kimchi. Oh yeah, that looks a nice piece of kimchi there. Just coated in that Korean chili powder, or chili pepper sauce. Oh man, yeah. Crisp, sour, spicy. Okay, another spot with some awesome food, and this sundae, the Korean blood sausage, is really interesting. There's just huge ones sitting here steaming, and they have really interesting bouncy texture and flavor. So I'm gonna go for another bite here. And this looks like a good one. These are huge. Oh yeah. So this is such a cool market here, the Gwangjang market here in Seoul, South Korea. And they have everything you could ever want, from live seafood to fresh produce, and of course tons of food. There's lots of things we wish we could have tried, but we just need to save our stomachs for the rest of the trip. Okay. So we're here at the Namdaemun market this morning. This is the largest traditional Korean market here in Seoul, and we have come to have a street food breakfast, and right here is the first thing we want to try. This is steamed buns, or mandu. So we're here at a very popular stall in the heart of Namdaemun Market, and this stall is serving, like I said, steamed buns. So we've got two different kinds. We've got the kimchi kind, and then we've got the meat kind as well. So these just feel so like plump, and the skin on the outside is like pretty soft, and it feels definitely juicy on the inside. And these are steamed and pretty simple. I think this one's just stuffed with some meat and onions and maybe cellophane noodles. And then the second kind I ordered is the kimchi dumpling, kimchi mandu, and you can see already, you can see the orange from the kimchi kind of seeping into the wrapper of that dumpling. So let's break into these and try them out. So these are served nice and hot and fresh, and that's nice on this cold morning here in Seoul. So let's try out this. This is the kimchi kind. Oh yeah. Oh, that is awesome. You can see all kinds of different ingredients in there. Certainly there's lots of kimchi, and then we can also see some cellophane noodles in there, some green onions, and that is a little bit spicy, a little bit sour. It almost tastes a little bit cheesy from that kimchi, and then that wrapper is nice and soft, easily bitten through, and this is just nice and warming on this cold morning, like I said. Oh yeah, that kimchi is awesome. And you can just see all the dumplings steaming away in the background here. They're producing a ton of these, and I can see why, because they're going quickly. These are delicious. So let's dig into the meat dumpling here. Oh, that is very good as well. So you can see that's stuffed with a lot of minced pork, and it is nice and juicy. That's a little bit juicier than the kimchi one. I see some green onions, some regular onions in there, and also the cellophane noodles too. Oh man, that is delicious. I just love this bun. It's super, super soft, and this is just warming me up. This is an awesome breakfast. So we tried the kimchi kind and the regular meat kind, but they also do have a lot of other different kinds. So they also have this over here. This is the deep fried mandu, and then over here it looks like a red bean kind of sweet dumpling. But I really enjoyed the kimchi one. It was spicy and juicy, and oh, it was really good. So we're gonna keep going and see what else we can find this morning. So I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. If you ever come to Namdaemun Market, look for this door here, kind of a plastic door, and inside here some of the best food in all of Namdaemun Market can be found. This is called Kalguksu Alley. So let's go inside. So we are in Kalguksu Alley, right in the heart of the Namdaemun market here in Seoul, and we just found a spot to sit down. There's tons of different ajuma selling the Kalguksu, which is hand-cut noodles, and also they serve a couple other dishes, so we ordered up a few things, and we're just waiting for our food to arrive, but this is such a cool atmosphere. They were kind of all over us when we walked in. They all wanted us to sit down, but we found a nice little place, and it's nice and cozy in here, so we're just waiting for our food, and then we're gonna feast. So all of our food has arrived, and as I said, we have ordered up a small feast. Just check out all this delicious looking Korean food. Okay, so the first dish we've ordered today is Bibimbap, which is very similar to Bibimbap, but this is made with barley rice. So as you can see, there's just a ton of ingredients in there. We've got the nice barley rice in the bottom. I see lots of things, lettuce, some Asian pear, and some bean sprouts in there, some chives, and then it's all kind of drenched in this gochujang, Korean red pepper sauce. So I'm actually just gonna mix this up. You need to mix it up. And there's a lot going on in there. So let's give that a good mixing. Try to get that gochujang sauce on all of that barley rice. And this is another very popular dish here in Kalguksu Alley at the Namdaemun market. And all of these ingredients look super fresh and delicious. As you can see, all the ingredients are actually just sitting right out in front of the stall. So the bibimbap is all mixed up now, and I'm ready to take a nice big spoonful. Let's try it out. Oh man, that is amazing. All the different components in there is awesome. It's actually not too spicy, but that barley rice is just amazing. Kind of has like an earthy, like very, very slightly bitter flavor. So many fresh ingredients in there. I really love those bean sprouts. They're nice and crisp. Let's take another bite. Lots of bean sprouts in this one. It's just so healthy and fresh tasting. Really just wholesome. So as I mentioned, the famous dish here in Kalguksu Alley is Kalguksu, which is hand-cut noodles. So here we have our bowl, and this just looks amazing. It's topped with quite a bit of seaweed. We also have this is yubu, or yubu strips, which is kind of fried tofu. And then underneath all of this, we have some delicious handmade, hand-cut noodles, and then it's in a broth, probably just a light, maybe fish or chicken stock. And then also we've got some gochujang in here. It looks like some green onions. I'm just gonna mix that gochujang right into the broth, get that a little bit spicy, and work those noodles around. And let's take a big bite of that. This just smells awesome. Oh man. Oh, that is incredible. So that's actually like a very light fish stock, but those noodles are ridiculously like firm, just perfectly cooked. And you can definitely taste that those are homemade. They're not uniform the whole way through. They're kind of bendy and all kind of twisted, but that makes it all the better. That is just an amazing texture noodle. Just check those out, and that seaweed in there is awesome too. Not too spicy from that gochujang, just perfect. Let's take another bite. Oh man, perfectly salty, perfectly spicy. Oh, that is amazing. So as part of the set menu for the Kalguksu, we are also given this. This is a seafood kind of like miso soup, and then there's some spinach in there. It looks like maybe some cabbage, maybe some seaweed, and lots of stuff going on in there. Over here, we have some kimchi and some pickled water spinach, which looks amazing. And then back here, we have an awesome looking dish of Bibimbap, which is these buckwheat noodles served cold. And this one is just topped with a ton of sesame seeds, some Asian pear, and half a boiled egg. So that looks awesome. Let's try out these. So let's start with this seafood soup. Oh yeah. Oh, that's actually a little bit spicy. I think there's some black pepper in there. It's very light. It does have kind of like a fishy, seafoody flavor, but that's really nice. Let's chase that with a piece of kimchi. And kimchi is just the best thing you can eat here in Korea. I cannot get enough of it every time I'm in Korea. Oh yeah, and that's good stuff. It's crisp, sour, spicy, really good kimchi. Let's try these pickled greens. Oh, those are really good too. Those are less spicy, but kind of like really juicy or filled with water. So next up, I'm going to try the Bibimbap, and as you can see, it is just coated in this red gochujang sauce. I think there's a little bit of oil in there, probably some sesame oil, and let's just kind of mix it up first. Oh man, and then those cold brown colored buckwheat noodles. This looks awesome. All right, that is completely drenched. Might be a little bit spicy. Let's try that. Oh yeah. That actually might be the best dish in the whole table. Those noodles are awesome. They're super thin noodles, buckwheat, and that gives it kind of like an earthiness, but that is kind of sour. I could definitely taste some sesame oil in there, and a little bit spicy too. Not as spicy as I was expecting. And let's try another bite, but I'm gonna go with a piece of this like Asian pear in there. Oh man. Oh yeah. That pear, super crisp, but those noodles are just so ridiculously bouncy. That's awesome. So now I understand why there's a whole alley dedicated to one dish. These Kalguksu hand-cut noodles are incredible. The texture of these are just phenomenal. So the way that she makes the Kalguksu is she lays out the dough and thins it down to her preferred thinness, and then kind of makes it into a huge sheet. Then she'll fold that sheet several times so it's layered, and then she just uses a knife, no special machinery required, and she cuts the noodles up to perfection, and they are delicious, and she is a master at making these. Okay, that was an amazing meal of kalguksu and bibimbap. All the different dishes, side dishes, everything was amazing. I definitely recommend coming here, but we were extremely full after that, so we're gonna kill a little bit of time before we go eating tonight again, so let's go. Just finished off with our hike up Yeongmasan. That was absolutely incredible, so beautiful and refreshing. But we have built up another appetite, and we have come to a small traditional Korean market, and this is called Myeonmok Market. And we're going to be doing a little bit of snacking this afternoon. So a lot of stuff looks good here. Let's go eat. Okay, we found a nice little snack to have after a long hike, and this is tteokbokki, which is the spicy Korean rice cake. So as you can see, we've got some big pieces of the rice cake in here, and then it's just smothered in this kind of red pepper gochujang sauce. And then also this spot that we're at now actually has some odeng, which is a fish cake. So it's the same thing, but just smothered in this red sauce. And this looks spicy and hot. Perfect to warm us up after that nice hike. Oh yeah. So that is super chewy. Not too spicy, actually a little bit sweet. And The texture of that rice cake is awesome. It has such a nice bouncy texture to it, and then it's completely kind of absorbed all the flavor of that red pepper sauce. So let's try now the odang. So this is the fish cake. It's kind of like a thin cut fish cake, and this also just completely smothered. Okay, yeah. That's also very good. Doesn't have nearly as bouncy a texture, but really nice kind of seafoody flavor, a little bit salty, and that red pepper sauce is awesome. It's not overly spicy and a little bit sweet. This is a perfect little snack to warm us up. So we've also been given a cup of the odang fish cake broth. So normally the odang served on a skewer with some broth, but she gave us just the broth to eat with our tteokbokki. So let's try this out. Oh yeah, very light in flavor and just a little bit salty, not overly salty. That's really nice. So tteokbokki is really just one of the classic, typical Korean street foods, always good to have on a cold day like today. All right, guys. Okay, just walking through the market now, and this kind woman here gave us a little glass of tea. And from what I understand, this is actually made out of a lot of different mountain herbs, and one of them being mistletoe. So as you can see, it's kind of like a orangish kind of brown color, and it is piping hot. It smells really good. Oh, that just tastes so like healthy and really warming. Kind of warms your whole body. It's a little bit bitter, a little bit earthy, but it's very light at the same time. Oh, that's really good actually. And she's a very friendly woman. This is it. So we have another sample here, and it is this here. This is a special type of mushroom from Jeonju, and she's given us a sample. And she told us to dip it here into some oil and salt. And this is just a raw mushroom, but let's try it out. Oh, it's very good. It's actually really crunchy. Doesn't have too much of a flavor, but it has a really amazing texture. Earthy, kind of like fruitiness to it. And then the salt and oil is really good, sesame oil. So we are here at the market, but today is actually an off day for the market. Usually this market is really bustling on days that end with 2 and 7. So unfortunately we are here on not one of those days, but that's okay because there's still lots to see and lots of free samples. And we're gonna pop into a little restaurant, and later we're gonna head up to a very cool viewpoint of Jeonju. So let's go find something to eat first.
좀 더 얹어.
됐어.
깨.
예, 알아요. 됐어요.
So we've been doing quite a bit of snacking this afternoon, but now we've just popped into a restaurant for a proper meal, and check this out, we have a tiny feast here. So I'm gonna walk you through all our dishes. And first up is a specialty from this market. This is the tadpole noodles, and it derives the name from these tiny little noodles which are shaped like a tadpole. It looks like there's some kimchi in there, and this is some seaweed on top. And then over here, we've got something that is called thistle rice. So this is a mountain herb on top, and then we've got a ton of sesame seeds. So we're gonna mix that up in a little bit, and then there's a huge bed of rice. Over here we've got a soup. We've got some pickled peppers in soy sauce, some dried anchovies, some spicy pickled daikon. Over here we've got some mushrooms. This is the sauce for our thistle rice. And then over here, of course, we've got some kimchi. So let's dig into this. It looks awesome. Let's start with this thistle rice here. So as you can see underneath here, we've got the thistle, which is the mountain herb, which is extremely popular from the market. They just get it from the mountains surrounding Jeonju. And then on top, we've got some seaweed, some kind of ground up sesame seeds, and I'm just gonna give this a nice little mixing and get that rice all mixed in. And then once this is nice and mixed, we will add some of this sauce. So let's grab a little bit of this sauce over here. So I'm not exactly sure what this is. It looks like a sweet soy sauce. We will find it once we taste it, and there's a ton of green onions in there. So let's put a hefty dollop of that in there, maybe one more. All right, now let's mix that in again. Oh yeah, that'll give it tons of flavor. And let's give that a nice try. I'm gonna make sure I get some of the thistle and some of everything. All right, looks like a good bite. Let's try it out. That is actually much more flavorful than I thought. That thistle underneath just tastes amazing. I can definitely taste the seaweed in there, and the sesame seeds are nice in there as well. It is really just like a hearty meal. So let's move on to this. This is the tadpole noodles, and just check that out. That is beautiful. Check out those noodles in there. We're gonna give this a nice mix too. There's some kimchi in there, so it'll give a little bit of spiciness. Some kim seaweed, and those noodles are crazy. So let's get that mixed up and grab a bite. Make sure I get some kimchi in there. Oh, all right, let's give me a big bite. Oh, that's amazing. Okay, those noodles are incredible. They just slide down your throat like instantly. There's no chewing required. They have a really like unique, slippery texture to them. It's a little bit spicy from the kimchi in there, and that kimchi was sour as well. I'm just gonna try just some of the noodles here. Just check those out. They're so unique. Like it really does look like a tadpole. So let's try those. So this whole meal is really good. It's extremely hearty and filling, and these side dishes are awesome too. I'm gonna try a couple more of them out here. And here we have the same mushrooms that we tried earlier. It looks like there's some onions as well, and they're in an oil. And let's try that out. Oh yeah, those are sweet and really nice with the crunchy onion. Again, in quite a bit of sesame oil. Little anchovies as well. Crunchy, fishy, and a little bit salty as well. And we've also got a soup over here. And it looks like there's some water spinach in there. And let's take a drink of that. Oh, that's really nice. It's almost like a miso, and that spinach in there is completely like saturated with all that juice. Oh, this is such a hearty meal. I'm getting extremely full, but this is delicious. Okay, finished off with that meal, and that was awesome, but we're gonna go have some fun right now, and we're actually gonna head up to the top of a mountain where apparently there's some amazing views, and actually there's a picture of it right here, so that's where we're going. Okay, so we have driven about 15 minutes away from the market, and we have come up to an incredible view. We are on a skywalk here, so we just put on our little blue booties and we are checking out this incredible view. There is the river bending around the mountains and these incredible peaks off in the distance. You gotta check this out. This is absolutely incredible. So we're back down at the market after our nice time at the skywalk, and we have come to try a traditional Korean drink called makgeolli. So we're gonna find a place to sit down here and try it out. Okay, we are sitting down finally after our nice little trip to the Skywalk, and we've ordered up some food and it looks really, really good. So right here we have something called mamil jeonpyeong, and it is a buckwheat thin flour batter that is fried up and then filled with a ton of kimchi. Just check that out. It's like pouring out the other side. So it is very similar to what we tried last time in Pyeongchang, but this is different because it's stuffed. Then over here we have a kimchi jeon, which is not buckwheat, but the gochujang sauce is mixed with a flour batter and then made into a pancake, Korean jeon pancake. And then over here, of course, some kimchi, and then also some sauce. And then right here, we have something very interesting. This is called makgeolli, which is a unfiltered rice liquor. So I'm going to mix this up a little bit. And as you can see, it has a completely like milky, cloudy appearance. And I'm gonna very carefully open this so it doesn't pop. Okay, we're good. And she's given us these little metal bowls. So I'm gonna pour some in here. And apparently this goes really well with the kimchi jeon. All right, I'm going to start with this buckwheat pancake, the mamil jeonpyeong, and it is just stuffed with kimchi. Check that out. And I'm just gonna try it first without the sauce. Try not to drop any of that kimchi. Oh, that is stuffed full of spicy and crisp kimchi, and then that buckwheat wrapper on the outside is really kind of soft and fluffy. That is awesome. So next, let's try this kimchi jeon. Very similar, but as I mentioned, the gochujang Korean red pepper paste is mixed with the flour batter and fried up. So let's try that. That doesn't have much of a difference from the other, except for it's less crisp because it's not stuffed with kimchi, and also less spicy. Again, just really simple and delicious. And of course, we'll chase that with our makgeolli, and just check that out. Another popular drink here in Korea is soju, so I'd imagine this tastes similar. Oh, that's pretty good.